Here it comes. Okay. Hey, guys. We're playing an intro so we can get all of our peeps in here. Because this is The Rock. And we're rolling. Here we go.
No sound, bro.
The Rock. We're about to be rolling, baby. All right, you and I just made this thing. Darkwolf gave me this awesome idea today. He said, doesn't Unirock mean you and I rock? And I'm like, yeah. So I went into After Effects and made this little thing. It says, you and I rock. I drop out that to make Unirock. And that's exactly what this channel is. Darkwolf, you,
Yeah, buddy,
and I, and our viewers rock.
Oh, yeah, we do. You and I and the Rockinats, we love to hang out and rock and have fun.
That's right, man. It's all we do, man. We don't play all those YouTube games. We got our own YouTube game. It's all we do.
We got all YouTube games in this broadcast, don't we?
Mm-hmm. All right. Darkwolf, talk to him for just a second. Tell him who you are, where to find you. I'm going to tweet out and get this broadcast rolling. Go ahead, buddy.
Excellent. For those who don't know, I am Darkwolf of Darkwolf's Den. It is great to have everybody here tonight. My channel actually deals with the Mandela Effect and the Mandela Effect theory series, but that's not all you'll find on my channel. No. You'll also find the replay of the Rockinati show every day, or at least every day that we make them. So always look for that over there. If you can't find it on Uni's channel, if you're looking, wondering where in the world are they at, I don't know where to find them, you could definitely find them on Darkwolf's Den. We love having all our Rockinauts here tonight. We got a couple people in the chat. I know we got the Klingon, we got Charlene, we have Raphael and Brenda. Lovely to have our Rockinauts with us live and the ones that are listening later.
That's right, buddy. Thank you. That's right. We are tweeting out on the tweet. I didn't mean to say that. And the Twitter. I can't say Twitter. I've had problems saying it my whole life, ever since I was 3 years old and Twitter first came out. No, when I was 3, there was no such thing as the internet. I'm old as hell.
With the tweeter.
Censor warning. I got to get a beep every time I say something that could even be bad. Okay, so we are at Unirock TV. We are hashtag Unirock TV. We want to tweet out to our dudes at Unnameable Media because those guys rock. We want to tweet out to Alien. I don't know his tweet thing. What is it? Anyway, we are Conspiracy News Radio Talk Show. Rockinati, baby. Love it. Yeah, Darkwolf. So what's been up today, buddy?
Well, you know, it's been a really good day, actually. I went into work earlier, and they let us off early. So that was a welcome surprise for Saturday. And after that, I was able to tie up I was able to tie up a couple loose ends and get some things done, work on some projects I hadn't been able to work on, and just kind of kick back, relax, and now I'm ready to hang out with you guys and learn something new.
That's right. Every day. We do this every day. I don't even know how it started. I don't know what. I don't even see the good things that happen when good stuff happens. It just happens. It's just one of those things. It just blows up. It's just crazy. Okay. We recorded this in the studio today. Let's give it a listen while we wait on some of our Rockinati to get here. This is the band Stereotype, Unirock's band. We're playing a show this weekend. We want to go live with our show this weekend, but it doesn't look like it'll be possible where we will be recording and playing. So we are going to come at you after the fact in video form, but let's take a listen to what we put down today in the studio. 1 second. All right, guys. Yeah, Stereotype laying down some new songs to play at this concert we have this weekend that we're going to broadcast.
Man, that was awesome, dude. That was absolutely awesome. I'd listen to it, definitely.
Hey, I'll get you a CD, pup. We're in the studio recording all these songs right now. We'll have a CD out soon. And we're going to play it all right here free on the rock. I don't sell nothing I create, man. I just put it right here on the tube.
Absolutely. That's the way to do it, man. Sharing information. Knowledge has got to be shared or it's worthless. Art, music, whatever it may be.
That's right. I wanted to do one more tweet while we chill. We're getting ready to roll right into this. We've got some crazy stuff coming up tonight, guys. Darkwolf and I have to figure out this stuff. It's with the Mandela Effect. We've got the Mandela Effect. Hi, my Tame, Charlene, G Minion, Raphael, Bite Me. We've got the Nobody in here. Brenda's in here. Everything is just rolling today, man. We got our normal viewership, which makes us be able to do our show. The fact that we have these viewers right now live, and we've been hitting the 200 to 300 to 400 mark just within a day or two or three of putting these out, and they're not even listed on the channel, buddy. So, and that's not even including your numbers, which you're getting good numbers over there too. So this show's doing great.
Definitely. People are liking what we're doing, man, because we offer something that no other channel offers. Not only do we tell you about the conspiracies, not only do we tell you about the things we found or could find, no. We show you what we find. We show you what we can do. We've got all kind of media at our fingertips and resources where we can bring to the viewers exactly what we enjoy doing, and that's finding the truth.
Right. We like to bring up the hard topics. We like to think about them logically. We like to think about them spiritually. We like to look at everything from all sides, form a really good, rounded opinion with many minds looking at this stuff. And then we bring it to you and let you form your own opinion with the information we've generated. Okay, now we're going to head deep, deep down into the YouTube, down into this really crazy place called the Mandela Effect today. Well, at least right now.
Oh, I love this. I love when we bring up this topic, man. The Mandela Effect is so crazy. And, you know, like I said, I do the theory series on mine, but just the overall ideas of what could be causing it. Because a lot of people bring me theories, and I'm still working on getting those out. Somebody came to me tonight with one, and I've got to get worked out. But you came across something earlier that you asked me about. What was that?
Yeah, we got this kid, and he's a verifiable genius, Max. He's got degrees. He's invented machines. He's gone through college, and he's not even like 6 months old yet. I mean, this kid's just super intelligent. Here's the issue. A lot of people are listening to him. Well, a lot of channels are claiming that he is explaining the Mandela effect perfectly. A lot of people are coming to us and saying, this kid, what is he saying? Is he really explaining the Mandela effect, or is he just babbling? So we've got two sides, and that's what we always like to have. One side says that this kid is super logical and is explaining the Mandela effect perfectly. The other side says he's just using big words, confusing people, and trying to sound smart. We are going to break down Max's theory for you. It won't take a long time. Then we're going to roll in to a lot of UFO sightings that have been coming up lately. I don't know the order we're going to go, but this is just the topics. We also have this strange thing going on that we brought up. Maybe it was last night or the night before. I got a lot of sleep today, so all the old stuff's meshed together in my head. But so end times, Bible, Revelation, ancient text, Revelation, Enoch, Revelation, all those old texts. We are seeing scarabs, beetles that look like Egyptian scarabs in extreme numbers this spring on the East Coast. I don't know if Darkwolf has them down there. They're eating up everything up here, and people are talking apocalypse. What do you think about that topic, Darkwolf?
Now, that's a crazy topic, because there's a whole lot of evidence when we get into that's really starting to mount up to something really interesting. But again, when we get into that, now the scarabs, I have noticed a couple beetles around me, but nothing extreme. That's the first I've actually heard of that one.
Okay, so they're everywhere in Ohio. Okay, so I go out to my cat had kittens. You guys pretty much watched it happen. She had them like on my lap when I was on Dr. Lupo's show, and my kittens and the cats, they eventually got, you know, really loud, and they were always attacking me. They weren't really playful either. They were trying to draw blood, I think. I think they don't like me. Anyway, so I took them, I made them a bed in the garage, which it's right outside the back door. Their mom still comes down here every night and sits with me, and then goes back up and feeds them and plays with them, goes back and forth what I'm trying to say. They're happy. Here's the deal. I go out there just right before the show. I mean, Darkwolf was chilling, waiting on me to make my tea, because I always have a cup of tea when we get rolling. And I went out and checked on Hop, you know, Hop the Star, that's her name, and there was like 7 beetles. I'm not exaggerating. I'll take a damn picture, that looked like Egyptian scarab beetles inside of her water bowl. 7. I look all around the garage, dude, and I'm being swarmed by these suckers. They're not the little ones either. They're the big ones. They were in the food. They were all around. I had to get the cats out of there. I was scared for their lives, because I've watched The Mummy. I know what scarab beetles can do. They crawl on you. You become a skeleton. They eat the skin right off. I might watch too much TV, but at least, you know.
Man, that's creepy, dude. That is really creepy.
It's bad, dude. Yeah.
And have you noticed this across the state, or is this the first time you've noticed this? Or
That's why we're bringing it up. Actually, now I did a little tiny bit of digging, and on message boards, deep inside some message boards, there are reports of this happening, at least around the tri-state area. Ohio, Kentucky,
Really?
Pennsylvania, maybe even into Indiana. Now, we're bringing it up because this is a national talk show. Me and you are national. We've got people from Germany. We've got people from Australia. We've got people from Canada, Mexico. We've got Brazil. We've got everywhere else in South America, Africa, and in Europe and Asia. No joke, regular viewers. Not exaggerating to look good, just the truth. Now, here's the deal.
Absolutely.
I want to know what's going on there. And what a perfect place to bring it up than on a international talk show. I think I said national last time. International talk show. Sorry about that. Even I mess up. Yeah, so we're going to start with, we have to keep our flow. So we're going to start here.
Right.
Matt, so we're going to listen to this guy. He's going to hit you. We got to be on our physics guard. He's going to hit us with some big stuff. I'm going to pause it a lot, and we're going to break it down piece by piece and make sure all of us are following, because that's what we do. Bite me. If you're going to bed, you better be back tomorrow, buddy. No, I'm just playing. Thanks, Bite Me. Bite Me is who motivates these streams to go. She is like behind the scenes. It's like if this was a stage, Bite Me would be setting the stage every night. She is that good. She gets us viewers. She puts out the word. She spreads the links. And if you guys also want to follow in Bite Me's footsteps, Bite Me Klingon. I always ling out the Klingon because I just love the name Bite Me. Honestly, if you want to follow in her footsteps and share the link to this show somewhere, we would really appreciate you. We want to reach out to a bigger audience. We want to get more. And the only reason is we want to hang out with them too. And you. We need more Rockinauts. We're going to take over. The Rockinauts, everywhere you go, you're going to see a Rockinaut shirt soon. Well, one, because I'm going to be giving them away on air. Also, every Rockinaut who's been in here, I've got a shirt for everyone ordered. It's going to take a few weeks now. Don't get getting excited yet. We'll go ahead and get excited. Just don't mob me. They're going to be here soon. Me and Darkwolf and I will have them on. You guys will be wearing them. Hell, we probably won't even wash them. We stream so much, you're not going to have time to wash the damn things. Okay, so let's listen to what Max says.
Oh, I tell you, man.
Oh, yeah, Brady. Yeah, that's why I needed to get some sleep today. But I got it. If you can't tell.
You're wide awake and ready to roll today.
That's right, dude. So let's hear this kid. Let me restart him because I was listening to him earlier. Let's hear what he's saying.
Universes, infinite parallel universes constantly being created is literally flow of reality and time as we know it.
This is why this kid is he's confusing people. He's fast. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what he said.
He's really fast.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. He said reality, the constant flow of reality and time creates multiple universes as we know it. Pretty easy to understand. Do you got anything to put in there, Darkwolf, or do we got it, do you think?
No, you nailed that one, brother.
Well, listen close, guys. This is really, you got to pay attention to this kid. Because we're going to tell you whether or not he is actually telling you something or if he's just trying to sound like it's a 16-year-old who can get his license. Hold on.
So, technically, there's a universe in which God can exist, right? So, Okay,
I'm sorry to stop so much. Okay. What he means is that in all these multiple universes he's talking about, there is one at least where a God will exist. I have a problem with that theory. Now, we look from all sides. So one side is here, if God existed, he would exist outside of all of these universes. He would be the creator of every one of them. I don't know if he's trying to say that there would be a God for each one, but that wouldn't make sense. God would be outside of that universe. Why would he be restricted to one?
That's pretty much what he's saying is, which we'll get into it in a minute, is that at least one of these will have a God because you have all possible options. So at least one, if not more, will have a God.
And he's going to start talking about if God created an immovable object. He's going to talk about something called a paradox. Listen.
Your book suggests that God is everything because of E = MC². Literally, God is within and can be everything. But then again, if there's an infinite number of parallel universes, there is an infinite possibility that there's a parallel universe in which God does not exist or is more powerful. In other words, can God create an unliftable stone or object?
Pause.
If so, then God should not be.
There you go, bub.
All right, so he just rolled into a whole lot of concepts there real quick. First off, he said, and he reiterated what I was just saying, single possibility is possible. So we could have a God that is more powerful than the God we have, what we believe, which I don't know how that's possible because we believe is all powerful. All means all. Or you could have a universe God controlling things at all. So the possibilities are endless. At least one of these can have one. At least one of these won't, is what he said there. Then, because what he's doing is he's rolling through points without stopping. I've seen some here real quick. Then he said, well, now let's discuss a paradox. And he ain't said paradox yet, but he said, can God create a rock or an object that God can't move? And I believe that's where we're at right now. I just want to make sure we clarify that because he's rolling really fast.
No, thank you, Darkwolf. And yeah, you're right. He's going to try to say, let's go ahead and preemptify a little bit. Let's go ahead and go back to the future. He's saying that God would create an immovable object. Well, then God can't move it. See, now this paradox is very unparadoxy, because if God does create this so that he himself can't move it, he still has the power. We aren't talking religion, guys. We always make these disclaimers when religion or God or even the words come up. We're just responding to Max. We're just responding in a general term. We respect all your religions. We respect every idea you have. We are just people, and when people come together of different faiths, religious beliefs, we want to be kind and respect everybody. So let's hear what else he has to say. And we're going to pause quick because he does say a lot in this sentence too. So let's try to filter it down. Here we go.
Be able to lift it, but if God is truly powerful, then he should be able to lift it, and therefore he can't create an unliftable stone.
Yeah. So really, now this kid's smart. Okay, Karen, we see it down there. Thank you, Jacob, the nameless. We see you, Raphael. We're so glad you're here, dude. Love your stuff. Been watching it for days. Love it. Okay, so Max. Yeah. Now, okay, what I think is this kid's smart, and I think he's beyond smart. We already know he is. He has degrees. He's graduated college at his age, 13. I think I'm going to pull up a possibility. Nobody get mad at me. I'm not putting this little dude down. We're actually going to probably end up agreeing with most of his stuff by the end of this, so no worries. We just have to cover our bases. I think this kid is trying to throw a little confusion in the mix, because I think there's a reason why he brings up the immovable object paradox. And actually, it's what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Okay, that's the paradox.
Right.
He's using God as the unstoppable force in this equation. But that's still the paradox. This is an old paradox. This is something men have talked about since the beginning of words. You know what I'm saying? Let me postulate to you guys to try to see if maybe he follows his topics for a reason. And let's hear what he says next real quick.
So that's a paradox right there. Anyway, but the point about that is that means that there is a power that is greater than God. And
yeah, Darkwolf, go ahead, buddy. I know this is hard to, I'm putting you on the spot, but whatever you're thinking.
Oh, no, it's quite okay. I'm ready to go. That part right there, I don't think is plausible in his ideas, because it's like you said a moment ago. If an immovable force hits, an unstoppable force is an immovable object, what's going to happen? It doesn't mean one's stronger than the other. I don't believe that that's the correct conclusion to draw from that statement that he just made previous.
Exactly. And then we have to actually start to ask ourselves, Is he really going to take a... See, a lot of people are just respecting him because of his accomplishments. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of errors are made in science, in equations, in answers, when you only respect what someone says because of what they've done. If you're the smartest dude in the whole system, it doesn't mean shit if you're spitting a bunch of babble. That's not what I'm saying Max is doing. But I am saying Max was wrong about what he just said. And Darkwolf said it perfect. I was going to say that. We're on a wavelength. We got it. We got our stuff moving tonight. It's already flowing because the unmovable object meeting the unstoppable force is nothing more than a concept made by man. These types of things in nature would have to be... There is probably, in this concept, a thing, the creator, that could destruct all rules and be beyond everything. He's already making a lot of really crazy assumptions that have nothing to do with the Mandela Effect right at the beginning of this. Now, we also have to remember that this is put on the internet by Scarab Performance. Great channel, a good guy. Now, I'm saying, though, that Scarab had to make a decision about where to start this. We don't want to judge Max too much about where this started, because this is where Scarab decided it was the best point to start this when he made this video.
Right.
So let's not go too far with our judgments and our thoughts yet. Let's open everything back up. We'll hit restart.
Like Raphael said, he has 13, so he is going to be wrong every now and again. Heck, I'm older than that every now and again.
Oh, I double his years. I double him, and I almost triple that kid, and I'm wrong all the time. So hold on, let's see what it says next. Oh, let's open this up though. Let's not have judgments, and let's hit play.
And considering that there is an infinite number of vibrations and therefore an infinite number of realities within our dimensional space.
He just wants us to assume. That's good. That's good. That's what we do. We make assumptions, guesses, hypothesis. We hypothesize. We assume a lot because you have to. So, not fact. He's assuming in a dimensional theory and making a statement right now.
Or I guess altered dimensional space, considering that they're either higher or lower, still in the same confined space. There is an infinite number of parallel realities with an infinite number of parallel dimensions that actually can create a powerful or less powerful form of God equals MC squared as we know.
Okay. So in this infinite system, he's saying that different versions of God would be created. Now, whether he is hypothesizing that fact or just saying that it would be a possibility that is most likely probable, we don't have the information to state. You got anything to say before we move on a little bit, Darkwolf? Are you all right here?
Okay, so what he said so far in this last segment is, in the space around us all the time, there is extra dimensions and multi-moral realities. There we go. With the same dimensions that we have, like left, down, left, right, backwards, forward. So when he says there's multiple realities with multiple dimensions, I believe that's what he's saying.
Infinite, yeah, infinite possibilities, and because of infinite frequencies. Now, we won't go there. That's a different discussion because I could
But that is basically what he was saying in that last segment.
That's what he wants us to assume. We're going to go ahead and assume it and hit play.
Oh, wait. Unfortunately, though, this is a paradox, quite how we encounter one with Aleph null. In other words, imagine a line, right? And then from that line, you put a smaller line that is a fraction of, that is fracture closer to the original line, and then the same thing for that line, the same thing for that. Eventually you'll end up with this triangle shape, and that triangle shape is infinity, technically, in a confined space. Now, of course, infinity can't really be put in a confined space, but imagine it.
He brings up a good point. Alpha null, the lines, the triangle, it just doesn't mean much other than he's trying to say that infinity in a confined space. Everyone would say to anyone who says that statement, they would say that's not possible. But we have an infinity in a confined space. Technically, from what we understand of physics, we have a universe that's infinite. And if what all the physicists are telling us, and most likely it's possible that multiple dimensions exist, even though this is an infinity. It's in a confined space because we are surrounded by other infinities. Very hard to grasp. It's a hard concept.
Which we've covered that on other shows too, with the bubble theory or M theory, membrane theory, and this is not stuff that we're making up there or suggesting. This is what physicists are saying. Like the different soap bubble theory is kind of what it's referred to. Like each universe is a bubble into itself. It's infinite, but it's enclosed, and that is a wild thought. But you're right. According to physicists, that's exactly what we have.
Yeah. Now, we also want to make sure, though, that we just understand that when even physicists say that it's most likely that our universe is infinite, but there are other infinite universes, that is what you have to really wrap your mind around when you try to understand the multiple dimension theory.
Right.
And it's important to try to understand this theory because all signs point to yes in physics and in supersymmetry. Now let's hear what he says next.
He said, hold on a second.
We're finding science demonstration material here.
Mom, do you have a marker?
Mom, do you have a marker? How cute.
Anyway, so imagine it like this, right? There's one line, and then a fraction closer, and a fraction smaller is the next line. And then a fraction closer and a fraction smaller is the next line. So
I understood it the first time you said
so
it.
Eventually we get this sort of thing. It's a little bit like this. Now, that's infinity in a confined space because there's nothing here or here.
Darkwolf.
Yeah.
I'm having a problem right here. He is saying that this triangle is infinity in a confined space. Is it only because it goes down so small, the edge, the end that goes small, and then the end that goes large? That's exactly what he's
saying. It goes infinitely small.
And then the other side goes infinitely large. Because once one gets, let's say, okay, you got the first ones coming up. So what Max is trying to show you, I will draw for you really fast just so I can kind of say it correctly. We're going to get sketchy for a minute. Let's go ahead and get sketchy with our, we don't got much red over there, do we? Yeah, there's a little. Let's go bright green. Okay. So Max is showing you that in the very end of this triangle little thing, it would get infinitely small to the point where it would not exist, I believe, because that's what he's saying. He's saying it would stop. Now, the reason why he's saying this side gets infinite is because each one of these, as it grows, gets longer than the next. You're going to reach a point in this triangle where the last line is infinite because the one before it stopped due to the, we'll say, I wanted to say fraction, but I hope people are following me in this. You get to the point where there's so much space in between this one and the next one, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger every time they go, that there eventually becomes one of these lines that cannot generate the next one because it gets so large that it isn't, the space between is so large it becomes infinity. Now, I have a problem understanding. I can understand the big side. I can understand this over here. I can't understand. I have a hard time understanding the little side of the triangle, the little side right over there. Now, it getting so small that it disappears. Now, in Max's own theory, he just said that it would not go here and not go here, but it would be infinite. It's infinity in such a small place. Maybe if we assume that this side that I'm telling you about, once it gets so small and it becomes so infinitesimally small with each next one that it would never reach this side as it goes. Like it would just take less space. So as this triangle grows this direction, it takes less and less and less space. As it grows this direction, it takes more and more and more space. Eventually, the infinity will keep it a solid line here and a point here. That's where the infinity will be. That will stop it from going further here and further there. But didn't that mean that it's not an infinity? Isn't that also a paradox, Darkwolf? What do you think?
Honestly, it reminds me of quantum physics and explaining physics itself from the macro to the micro. So everything can get bigger, bigger, bigger till it's infinite, but it can also get smaller, smaller, smaller to its microscopic, to the quantum level, to the quarks, to the strings, to the smaller. So you can only reach a certain level before, like you said, it's like running towards a wall that continuously runs away because you're taking shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter steps.
Great way to say it. Great way to say it. Man, if I had $1 million, you just gave the $1 million answer right there, bro. Yes. But here's the thing, man.
I'm a winner.
The paradox in this. The paradox is, doesn't that mean it's not infinite? That's another question. It's just something that he's saying. Let's see what he tells us. I know we took a little time in that. I promise you, we're almost done with Max. Let's hear what he says.
Because this is still there. But what happens when you add a line here? Now, that is actually still infinity because it's still in the same place, but it's not in a confined space, you may say. So then what if we do the same thing over here? Well, no matter how much you do it, it is technically still infinity. This quantity is still infinity. And you could do this forever and then do an even bigger version of that, so on and so on. But if you're talking about this being Aleph null, and this also being Aleph null, that can't really be possible. So
what's he saying? Alpha null or Alf null, or what is he saying? Because we need to define that to understand him right now. I think he's saying alpha null node. I don't know what the kid's saying. I've read about it. Okay, alpha number. Yeah, it's a mathematical. It's in. I remember seeing it in college. Alpha naught, the smallest infinite cardinal number in mathematics, and in a particular set theory, the alpha numbers are a sequence of numbers used to represent the cardinality, the size of infinite sets that can be well ordered. The thing about infinity, you can't order it. You can't number it. It eventually becomes innumerable, or it becomes, like he said on the other side, so small that you can't keep track. They are named after the symbol used to denote them. Alpha, no, where is it? He's got one of them in here. Alpha, omega, flex points of omega. We'll look at omega also. In many cases, it's stricter. This just gets complicated. So basically what we're going to have to do is take his word. We tried our best to understand him saying alpha null. We just need to try to follow him here. Are you back with me, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Get my muted.
That's okay. I just want to make sure I could hear you.
I'm thinking if I was unmuted, actually. Yeah.
Good
to go.
Yeah, you're good. Good to go. What we want to realize in the alpha null is it's a fixed set of numbers, or it's an equation that can describe infinity. It's hard to comprehend. We really don't need it to follow him completely. Let's hear a little more, and I think we've got it.
We're ordering in one, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, 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 blah. And then what comes after that, we get an interesting term, which is omega, which is the lowercase form of omega, you might know, but we're talking about lowercase here. And then after omega, omega necessarily isn't bigger than Aleph null. It's just an ordered form of infinity. So imagine it like this, omega plus 1, and then omega plus 2.
I gotta stop him. Infinity plus 1. What do you think, Darkwolf? Infinity plus anything.
Never in my life been able to wrap my head around that concept, because I didn't know you could add anything to an infinite source. Like I've been in some math classes where they've discussed it. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, so the short form, basically, if you represent infinity with a variable, so x, a, whatever. If you represent it with a variable, it becomes a limited number. It becomes a represented thing. Therefore, you can go even further in some really complex, I want to say algebra, but it's not algebra. And you can basically add things to infinity or subtract things to infinity, because infinity becomes a variable. It's now when you make variables that have to deal with infinity, which sometimes computers have to do this. Yeah, it gets extremely complicated. It gets so hard. It gets so complicated. It's hard to say it. But yeah, it's even worse to try to describe it to someone. Just try to follow Max, and when he says alpha null and when he says infinity, just replace it with a number, and remember that he's just talking about an infinite set of numbers, not infinity itself. This number represents an infinite set that can be any number in the whole gambit. Now, infinity runs both ways because it can go negative and positive. It's hard to get. Once you start realizing these things, you see why they talk about multiple dimensions. Darkwolf will be right back, but while he's coming back, we're going to hear this.
+3, +4, +5, and so on and so on and so on and so on, until eventually we get to the omega, 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 to the omega.
So what he just said is when you number infinity and then add things, you can eventually add infinity plus infinity.
All the way up for alpha null to omega to omega to omega. You get the point. Anyway, what we're getting here is we're getting into a factoring infinity to the highest level. And after that, eventually you get other facts like trin and...
Don't listen to him here. He's just telling you what can happen. Infinity plus infinity. When you start adding infinity to infinity, you can even go outside of those two infinities and add more infinities, but then they become another set of infinity, which you can add infinity to. It's extremely convoluted at this point, but we get into trine and we get into other systems there. We don't need to go there, but let's hear what he says.
A whole bunch of other higher infinities, and a lot of theorists, such as myself, have believed to figure out these highest infinities to a point where we start to get to our cardinals, and after we get to our cardinals, we start to get to uncountable cardinals.
We talked about cardinals a little bit ago. It's okay. It'll make sense. I'm going to make it make sense for you.
For more information, you can go to a Vsauce video, How to Count Past Infinity. It basically reviews this infinite information if you don't understand it. But the point...
I don't think there are many people who understand this other than you.
Okay. I have a problem right here because he's just petting the kid's ego. He's actually calling us all stupid. There's not many people who understand this other than Max. Why? Because he's a 13-year-old genius? Other people have been called 13-year-old geniuses before him. Let's swirl, though. I'm not going to go into that. Let's just keep going because the dad just offended me, but let's go.
Max Loughan. So you were saying back to the E equals MC squared and the new definition of God, which was our original conversation. You're saying it's accurate, but you're saying it's not accurate.
Right, so just like quantum physics and superposition, everything can be in a state of either positive and negative at the same time, rather than positive or negative, as we know in our mechanical classical world here. But that means that there is an infinite number of parallel universes in our multiverse. Let's put that there and focus more here on these lines. In our multiverse, and there's an infinite number of these realities, and in each reality, as every electron spins an animator of an animator to an animator to an animator around a nuclei of an atom, we're catapulted into an infinite number of alternate universes. Just imagine this is the start of the universe. This is our original timeline, right? But
okay, sorry, I had to kick a troll. I didn't kick him. I put him in timeout so I can give him a message. Be nice. You can still hang, bro. Okay, he wanted to know my education. So I was educated in high school. I've went to several different colleges. I took a general degree in engineering. I didn't complete it because I stopped to join the military. I made decisions myself. I continued my education my own way outside of a system that I felt was trying to regulate what I took in and judge me in an unfair way. And I've continued it ever since I was in the military and after. Let's continue.
As soon as this starts,
Sorry, I don't mean to sound smug. I don't get why people, look, you got 100 other live streams out there, okay, Creamy? If you don't like what we talk about, my thing with trolls or people who are upset or get mad about things, or the only reason I even put Creamy in timeout for everyone else is because he's come here many times and tried to start crap. He's not getting to me. I'm telling you right now, and I don't mean to sound smug. I don't think I'm super intelligent. I don't think that I'm better than Max. I just think that for his father to say Max is better than everyone else is insulting everyone else's intelligence. That's all I said. So now that we've dealt with the troll, let's roll on. Here we go.
Infinite number of parallel universes. And somewhere infinity down the line, here's our universe, right? And then we're constantly shifting into alternate universes as we speak. And that expansion of infinite universes is our reality as we know it in time. So therefore, if there are other universes, they're next to ours, and this actually relates to my theory of the Mandela Effect and how the particle accelerator altered the weight of one electron and therefore destroyed our universe and shifted us into the universe that's directly next to it, and therefore things are different in this universe.
So you believe that this thing that some people call the Mandela Effect is
Damn it,
actually
I'm trying to pause it.
Oh, it's absolutely real.
Bam.
All right.
Okay, so he does say the Mandela. We're on 6:30. I'm only going to go back about 15 seconds because it's really important that we hear this again. This kid's smart. This kid's smart. I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm saying that he is explaining this a little too advanced if he's trying to make a video to explain it to other people. He's assuming that he's assuming that explaining this to everyone else that they're going to understand him. And he brings up a lot of really super convoluted things like trine, alpha, omega, which sure, he's got to explain this in order for us to understand. And I'll tell you right now, Max really helped me understand infinity and multiple dimensions, which was the whole point of this. That's what I mean. Now, I will go a little bit further and say, though, I think that the point I was making was that Max went too far and went outside of where he needed to explain. But that's not for me to judge. Maybe Max just wanted to help us understand something else. We need to hear what he says about this. And Darkwolf, I hope you got a good connection. Me and you got to break this part down because this is the part where everybody would be interested if they're watching it as a physics lesson explaining the Mandela Effect, because that's what he just gave us. So let's see what we can do.
As we know it in time. So therefore, if there are other universes, they're next to ours, and this actually relates to my theory of the Mandela Effect and how the particle accelerator altered the weight of one electron and therefore destroyed our universe and shifted us into the universe that's directly next to it, and therefore things are different in this universe.
So you believe that this thing that some people call the Mandela Effect is actually real?
Oh, it's absolutely real.
Can you describe what it is for people who have never heard it before?
Sure. So the Mandela Effect is the effect of, some people thought that Nelson Mandela died at a certain time, and other people remember it as a different time. And this goes for a lot of other things, you know, Star Wars, classic videos, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. Everybody knows that. Well, if you actually look back to the original film, it's not Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. It's Magic Mirror.
Okay, Darkwolf, opinion time. Do you think he's just trying to explain the examples, or do you think that he's trying to put down Mandela Effect by stating that Mirror, Mirror on the Wall is a famous change, but it really isn't a change because the original says it the way that they say it was said? What do you think?
Okay, so I don't think he's trying to put it down by any means. I think he may really believe that, or may be working on some incorrect information that he has at the time. We've all done that. Think we have information to come to find out what we knew was wrong. We worked on an invalid assumption. That aside, his overall theory, it's not the first time I've heard that. Just that something happened, and it could be, I like that he broke it down to one specific event and took it all the way to CERN. I thought that's really neat because they love throwing CERN in there. But just the fact that something could have happened, and the idea of reality, because it's trying to fix itself, shifted over to the next, the one next door, and just, or for whatever reason, everybody was shifted. He hasn't been real clear on that, but it's not the first time I've heard that theory. I follow it a little bit.
Yeah, and okay, so the reason why I think Max is saying that CERN is involved, I've said before on the show, and I'll give you my 20-second recap. I think that Max wants us to understand about infinity, and he remember at the beginning he was saying E equals mc squared, talking about the speed of light and such. Okay, so these two things I drew on the screen are two just little particles. Now they're not photons. Photons are particles of light that do not interact with the Higgs field, or they do not interact with matter because they are not affected by gravity. That's what light is. Light is a type of matter.
Reflective.
Yeah, it's not affected by gravity. Okay, and now these particles are. These are just physical particles. You could pick them up off the floor if they were bunched into a rock, or if they were something else. Now the problem is, some people. Now I've proposed this theory in depth at least 3 times on the channel. Some people think that if you speed these things up, and let's just say the laws of physics are correct, okay, as any physical thing that goes the speed of light, or at least close to it, and CERN gets them up to 99% the speed of light, the theory says that, not a theory, actually it's almost a complete proven thing. They've actually done experiments that are very scientific to prove that as you spin actual matter, or as actual matter flies through any space in the universe, it will go, let's say it's spinning right here, but there's a little dude right here watching it. He's just sitting here chilling, looking right at it. Right. As this spins, let's say it spins for a year. When it stops, this particle will have spun for 1 year, but this man will have aged by 100 years. Time doesn't affect the particle. The closer it gets to the speed of light, it doesn't affect the particle. So let's say the particle goes the speed of light. Theoretically, it's almost instantaneous, almost, and to a degree. Like traveling at the speed of light from here to another star, you wouldn't really age by the time you got to that star, so you would go there instantaneously. Now to the observer,
light to you.
Yeah, and to the observer, the person looking, the little dude watching this happen, he will age. Now, the problem here is this one spun for 8 months, and we'll say the one over on this side spun for 1 month. So let's say during the 8 months that this spun, it went 1,000 years into the future. Kind of, not into the future, but because of the time differential, because it was traveling so fast, 1,000 years passed to the observer while this spun. Let's just say 10 years passed to the observer while this one spun. Now, now they're both in different phases of time. They're both in different time differentials. They both are in different places in time, but CERN smashes them together. That is where people like Maxie Boy here, me, other people who read and study into this phenomenon, say that just by the laws of Einstein physics, the basic principles, the time differential created by these things spinning at different times, once they explode and slam together, there will be an additional factor. Because when I explain this to, like, I remember trying to talk to Kyle from UFO Proof about it. I promise I'm bringing him up just for this. I tried to, in one of his live streams, get his opinion on this. And he said they're just smashing particles together. That's it. So quit worrying about him. You're just, I was in the woo-woo. Okay, I was going too woo. You know, I was getting too hardcore. You know, supposedly I was putting things together too far when I'm saying that this could happen. To a person who doesn't believe in this, that's what they're going to say to you. But to someone that has read about the laws of physics, they're going to say that, wouldn't something different happen? Now, let's say you take two particles and you just slam them together. Okay, they explode. But then you take two particles, you spin them almost at the speed of light, so that this one's like way up in the future and this one's like further in the past. When they collide together, what people like Max here and other people are saying is at the point of impact, something happens with time because of these particles having a time differential when they hit. So what happens with time? Well, that's the thing. We don't know. We have no clue. The only people that would know are people at CERN, are people around there looking at the data and really studying it and saying what's going on here. The thing is, though, if you just think about it logically, let's say two things are in the same space, but they traveled outside of time. What happens when things like that happen? Things like black holes are in space, but they're outside of time. We don't know if black holes would be created. We don't know what would happen, but I'm postulating, and I think Max is too, because he just said CERN's responsible, that there would be a wave, like a ripple in space-time. Like space-time would have to catch up to this because of the time differential. But yeah, the time differential. So since space-time has to catch up to this, not only would time warp, but space would warp too. And that's a very convoluted, easy to read format to this. But I want to see what Max says. I just want to make sure if you have anything to add there, you get to say it before we go.
No, you pretty much explained everything to a T. I really don't have anything to add to that. You're good.
Okay, we're going to hear what Max says, and this is pretty much the end of it for Mandela Effect part of this when it comes to that. But I like bringing up Max with this because he kind of confirms, he kind of alludes to a theory I've already had for a long time, way before I even saw this kid. Let's see when Scarab put this on. March 27th. So that couple months ago, yeah, I was making my videos and saying this stuff then too.
actually-
Which of course it's not.
It's not.
In
right?
the reality I grew up in.
Right, exactly. And I mean, some people in this reality, I guess, maybe didn't make it from our last reality, I'm thinking. I'm still trying to figure out why they don't remember it. And some people do. But anyway, though, that is the Mandela Effect, and we are living in an alternate expansion of our universes. Even in my own scientific notes, I've found rewritten signatures and things that are a little bit different from originally what I wrote.
So how did that actually happen? Let's take your notebook, or let's take Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, like an old film, animated film. How did it?
Now, I haven't watched this. I've only seen a couple snippets. I didn't know he was actually stating that he has had this happen to his notes and happen to him. I had no clue.
Me either.
You didn't know that either?
Not that part.
That's
I've watched
interesting.
most of this, but there's pieces that I have, been doing stuff while I was listening, may have missed. No, I missed that particular piece.
No, that happens. Yeah, Third Phase of Moon says maybe that he hopes the kid keeps asking the questions. Maybe he could build some type of time machine. Third Phase, if someone could do it, it would probably be Max, I'm telling you.
Well, one of the things he got famous for was building a free energy device in his garage from scraps.
That's what I've heard. He built a device that actually, now free energy device, a lot of people are going to say, well, why don't we have free energy? A free energy device is just a device where every device you put some type of heat, energy, motion into a machine, and it produces electricity equal to or less than what you put in. A free motion machine only says that you can get more energy out than you put into the machine. Some free motion machines wouldn't create enough energy to change our world. Some people, though, claim that Max created this. I haven't seen the article, but I have heard many people state that. I saw a webpage that said that when we were talking earlier. There was a webpage that said exactly what you just said. So I'm interested in finding out about the machine. That's a good topic. We need to add that to the list. What did this kid create, and why are people saying it's a free energy machine? It'd be great to know, because if he did that, he deserves a Nobel Prize, honestly, because people have been trying to do that for a long time.
Well, he's lucky to still be alive if you listen to the conspiracy theorists. And yeah, it's not a conspiracy theory either, because I've actually heard some stories, which I won't go into right now. But if he really created something like that, he's lucky they didn't try to take it from him by other means.
Very much so. We actually are going to get into that topic also. People who have created machines that could change our world, like the supposed car that could run off of water, $10 billion would help him out. It would help me out. I mean, shoot, I think all of us would like that.
Oh yeah.
Responding to comments. Yeah, but I think that there was a car in Ohio. This is why I know about this one so well. And this man created a car. The newscasters went to his house. He poured water in. He let them examine the whole thing, poured water into it, and drove miles. And there was water pouring out of the car. And he actually ran the car on water. Now, we're not saying that he didn't rig this, and it wasn't just really fancily rigged to where it looked like it was. We don't know, because the man was killed just a very short time later by international people that came to look at his machine. They took him out to dinner, and he was poisoned. He ran out of the restaurant, grabbed his neck, said, "I was poisoned," and fell over and died. This report came from his own brother. And all of his cars, all of his blueprints, everything disappeared. That is a big conspiracy theory. We don't want to talk about it specifically. We're just saying that it's related and what might come up in the future. Right, Darkwolf?
Oh, absolutely. And there's another one that I found a little while back, and this was verified too. A guy who created a, I believe it's the same thing, a water engine. And let me think. Yeah, I believe it's water. It might have been magnetic. Might have been magnetic. It was one of the two. And the government come to him and said, "Wow, this is really awesome. Let us buy it." And they offered him a large, I mean, insanely large sum of money. And he said, "No, I'm sorry, I won't sell." So they took this guy to court and tried to claim him insane because he turned down such a high amount of money. And they won the case. They locked this guy up in a mental institution, beat him, tortured him, did everything they could horrible to him just to try to get him to turn it over. He never did. Years later, he was finally overturned, and he was released, and that's the end of the story that I heard. But the fact that they can and will do something like that to somebody who comes up with any kind of world-changing invention that would threaten the paradigm today.
Yes, and we actually have, that would be great to bring up, because we have two topics in this show. One is, it's my buddy Mark's birthday. He's the guy who makes a lot of the you know, the kind of like dance, techno kind of music we play here. He's a musician. It's his birthday. It was yesterday, but my stream crashed when I had this thing made. I was going to play for him. Actually, I can't play it. It keeps crashing. I was just a little animation, so I'm just going to play Happy Birthday for Mark. And I'm bringing that up because my buddy John, when we were younger, got institutionalized and locked up in the same fashion that you just described. We want to finish off. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I want to finish Max. Let him tell us the end of his theory. He's went a lot of places. He tried to explain to us multiple dimensions and how they could be possible. Oh yeah, third phase is taken off, so we're going to say bye to them really quick. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Email me, contact me. I hope we can talk and work some stuff out, and just keep on rocking and hanging out together, guys. Be careful out there with those storms. We're going to say a prayer to hopefully you get through the storm good. We know there's been some bad ones. You guys rock. Okay. Now, we want to hear Max. I got off topic. I always try to say bye to viewers that leave. I did say bye to Bite Me when she took off too. Now we're going to hit play for Max here. Hear the end of his theory. And let's try to wrap this up and see if we understood him a little better. I know I was saying he was explaining multiple dimensions, how it led to Mandela Effect for him. He hit the CERN thing. We stopped him. Let's give him a chance.
Actually change.
Well, it never changed. We changed. You see, we were moving relative to our universe, and then our universe destroyed. So now the universe started to move, or I guess our parallel universes, our multiverse started to move parallel to us because we were out of alignment, and that just destroyed everything. So technically, the universe didn't change, we did.
Just a little pause there. Just my accident. We weren't deleting anything. People were saying, "Whoa, what's going on?" Because I had a text coming in. So there are two studios. Let's say the Disney studios. One studio, Studio A,
Darkwolf, do me a favor. Check the connection while we watch the rest and talk. And I want to make sure everything's running okay. Is that cool?
I'm watching now. It's looking great, Bub. I'm in the chat. I'm watching the connection. Like, everybody's hanging out, having a good time.
I heard nobody say rut-row raggy, and I thought he could be saying uh-oh laggy, like Scooby-Doo. Rut-row.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's go.
Creates a
Ruh-roh.
film that has magic mirror on the wall. Another studio says mirror, mirror on the wall. Is it two separate studios, or what happened?
No, same studio, different timeline. So good thing we have a multi-layered napkin.
This is very high tech in terms of our graphics.
Definitely sophisticated.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so as I said,
Because I love that one, because everyone remembers mirror, mirror on the wall. I mean, there's
Everybody
no one,
does.
and there's a whole Sally Field. You like me, you really, really like me,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And now
build it,
it's you
they
like
will
me.
come, build it, he will come. The peace
No.
sign.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that one.
Oh yeah, there's so much. I have a record of all the ones that I've been able to
Of course,
match, and,
of course you do.
some other stuff that I should tell you personally about later.
Okay, can't
Anyway,
wait.
so yeah, infinity down the line from our original timeline, where here's ours, and then, of course this timeline is only moving forward because, well, the expansion of infinite number of realities behind it. But what happened was we made this universe sort of out of balance, and our universe.
Because of the collider, the super collider?
Yeah, we altered the weight of a single electron, which I believe shifted us into a parallel universe, considering that we caused a chain reaction that could have catastrophically destroyed our universe. I mean, even when we thought about God is truly powerful.
Shit turtles. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I cursed again. We're going to get sketchy for a minute because I want to show you what he just said in an easy to understand fashion. So Max just said that when CERN collided the particles, this is Max talking, so don't get mad at us for bringing up CERN, guys. We get people getting angry about us talking about CERN sometimes. Okay. So when CERN collided the particles, he said that it altered an electron, proton, electron, whatever he said, and it threw us into another dimension. This is actually in my theory also, which is strange, but not really this part. But so the electrons and the protons, the little dots, they sit in a field. There's this invisible field, and that's what the Higgs was, that Higgs boson or that Higgs field. So as these protons and electrons move through the Higgs field works like molasses, and it holds people back. It holds particles back, like it weighs into the particles. It makes them have, if you tried to walk through molasses, it would feel like it was pushing against you. It would make it hard to walk. You'd be like slushing through. If you walk through water, it's more free. Go through air, it's free. So the Higgs field is like molasses. Light, though, moves through the molasses normally. Regular particles, once they hit the Higgs field, they would move like light. Regular particles would move like light, but because they hit the Higgs field, it's like they're going through molasses. They slow down because it gives them weight. That's the key. The Higgs field gives them weight. He's saying that when we found the Higgs boson, it dislodged, and this is from CERN itself, a piece of this field dislodged and popped out. So what we did was to find out that there was a Higgs boson or a Higgs field. When this piece popped out, we could measure it because it was physically in our universe. It came out of the Higgs field that we can't see and we can't measure because essentially it's gravity. And it came out of this, and we could measure it because it was an actual thing. The weird thing was it immediately disappeared and disintegrated. They say disintegrated, technically disappeared. It appears because it comes out of this Higgs field. We measured it when it was in reality here, and then once it got to this point, it completely disappeared and went away. The scientists at CERN say that it went into another dimension. It came out of one and went into another. It came out of the Higgs field and went not necessarily back into the Higgs field. Okay, so what we did was we got some Swiss cheese. We got a piece of cheese, and when you make Swiss cheese, you pop a hole out of it. That's what we did. We popped a hole out of our Higgs field. So there was a hole in it. The piece that fell out immediately disintegrated like microseconds later, but it was there for some microseconds, and we measured it while it was there. So the part that was left had, and nature creates the equilibrium, so it filled it back up. So it either, a couple things could have happened. By filling it up, it had to thin the Higgs field. So the Higgs field pulled from all directions to close the hole. That's one theory. So it made our Higgs field, it made our reality thinner. It made our space-time thinner. It made it able to be manipulated more. Now let's just say there are beings from other dimensions. They are able to, in UFOs or in balls of light or in, even if they're ghosts, all the different paranormal things that people report, this is a theory for why they happen more now. Because when this was breached and it thinned out our reality, more of these things could come through. There was less of a barrier because the barrier was thinned. Max himself thinks that when they took the little hole out of the Swiss cheese, that we kind of derailed. Like our Higgs, we are on the path of our reality, the path we flow on, the path we go down, this path. That's our reality. When we got the piece taken off of it, so our reality is moving in red right here. So it's going. Well, CERN does the collision right here. Now there's another reality and another reality and another reality all the way up and down. Well, we were on this one, go yellow. We were on this one here. So once all realities hit this point, the only thing that separated all the different realities was their Higgs field. Each one has a either more powerful Higgs field or a less powerful Higgs field. They're either higher up in frequency or less in frequency. Since we dislodge, now since we found the first Higgs boson, CERN has admitted we found many more. So anyway, what Max thinks is the first piece of the Higgs field that came out weakened our Higgs field, and we actually went down a level to a different reality, a reality that's changed a little. So now this part that we were in, this reality, it ended. It stopped here. That's why Max said it was destroyed. Our reality was moving right here. Well, when the Higgs field popped out, it was destroyed. It's gone because we went down to here. So now we could either be existing with that other reality. We mixed into it. That's why some people remember things and some don't. Or this reality that we were riding on completely disappeared and it was destroyed and it's gone. And now we have become this reality. What does that mean? What happens then? There's a million other theories. We won't go there now because it's complicated and I'd talk for an hour. But I wanted to make sure everybody understood what Max was saying. That's why he said our reality was destroyed, because we changed out of it. It's gone. It's not there anymore. The way it was. That didn't become an is, because we shifted into another reality. That's what they mean by shifting, sliding, all those different things. That's just one explanation. I want you to understand. We're going to take a small 3-second break. I'm going to give you a disclaimer, and then Darkwolf's going to give you a disclaimer. My disclaimer is, these are theories. We're not trying to push anything down your throat or make you believe anything. Darkwolf, what do you want to tell them about the disclaimer?
All right. When we do speak of theories, most of the time we're repeating other people's theories or things like that. But remember, a theory is just that. It's a set of ideas based on valid assumptions or educated guesses based on evidence. So what we're doing is we'll lay out, and I do this a lot in my videos, like the sliders video that I just put up. It's been one of my biggest theory ones. I'm surprised the amount of hits I've got on it. But anyway, disclaimer, these are theories. These are just ideas. These are just evidences that we're putting together to come up with an educated guess. There's no way we're saying by any means that these are absolute, set in stone fact without experimentation.
Thank you, Darkwolf. Now let's let Max close this out. Damn it, I did it again.
That somebody on this planet is gone from that time, or maybe there is an infinite possibility that there is. But the point is that it's a parallel universe to ours, so it is not our universe. It's not ours. But
so we are now not in the same universe that we were in when Mirror Mirror on the Wall was a part of a film.
Well, that's what I'm theorizing, yeah.
So we're in a different universe.
Exactly, completely different universe.
Even though it looks almost otherwise
our
completely
universe
the same.
Is exactly the same, except for that 0.00000000000000000000000 infinite number of zeros, 1%
Yes.
difference.
Right.
And that 1% difference is large on our scale, or even small on our scale, but it's still different enough that it's able to contain our energy, but not enough that it's the same. As I said, it's a parallel universe. It's not the same as ours. And if we have to arrive at the same time that we left, then there has to be difference. There's that fluctuation. And one of these fluctuations was maybe something different. Maybe one person decided to walk on the other side of the sidewalk, as it is uncertainty, at least in our future. I mean, if you're in a higher dimension like the fifth dimension or looking on our fourth dimension, uncertainty is just a matter of which way you're going, like a road. But to us, uncertainty doesn't happen because we can only see the present as it's happening. But anyway, so parallel universe fluctuations.
So, Mary, is it mirror, mirror on the wall or magic mirror on the wall?
Mirror.
Mirror, mirror. Definitely a vote for mirror, mirror. Right?
Actually, there was a movie that was done. Julia Roberts was in a movie called Mirror, Mirror.
Yeah.
Based off of that quote.
That's Max's mom. I don't think Max looks like his mom. What do you think, Darkwolf?
No, he probably looks a lot more like his dad.
Yep.
Right, but maybe that movie is now called Magic Mirror.
Actually,
Okay, so they didn't change that.
Right.
He doesn't look a damn thing like his mom. I'm sorry. I know I'm a little bit off topic here, but okay, let's go.
Then again, there's parallel universe where they didn't change that. Or we just shifted in a parallel universe, but that also changed. That one thing also changed. And you can find that multiple things have changed.
Where it wasn't Julia Roberts, it was Meryl Streep.
Right. No. Okay. Darkwolf. That's the cleared it up for us. He told us. Final thoughts on this. I'll give you just a couple. I'll let Darkwolf give you a couple. Like I said, Max threw a lot of people off because he started real hard. I mean, he's a kid. He wants to look smart. He wants to be, his dad pumps him up to be the smart guy. I don't think he wants to disappoint his father either. And you can tell his dad's eating it up. So yeah, Max does come on strong in the beginning. Does he give us good information? Sure. What is the most important part of what we saw that Max told us? It was a theory. He didn't try to make us think anything. He was just telling us one of his theories. I would have loved to have him say that in the beginning, but like I said, Scarab, he started it where he wanted. It's possible that the original video did contain Max saying, hey, hold on now, this is a theory. So, Darkwolf, give me a thought.
Okay, so I really, really like what this kid said. He's really smart, and you could tell when he's really into what he's saying because he really speeds up quick about it. I do that a lot sometimes myself. But I think he's a really smart kid. I think he's got a lot of wonderful ideas, and I like where he's going. I don't know about postulating the electron Higgs boson thing, which is a really good theory. But I think if he keeps working on this now, I do think he's working off some incorrect examples. I've heard a couple mentioned that I disagree with. But just the same, I think we all do that at some points. We have information we really know is true, and then we find out, oops, there was something wrong with that. So we have to re-correct our theories. And like you said, he did say this is a theory, in my theory, or I theorize. So he was pretty clear about that point. I liked it overall. I think he's got a good future, and if he continues down this road he's going, he could probably figure out a whole lot.
Charlene says, not his dad, Unirock. No disrespect intended. I agree. That's what I was trying to say. We are on the same wavelength. I didn't mean to derail you there, buddy. I agree, though, with everything you said. Yeah, I agree with Max. I agree that he's got a good theory. I agree that I naturally came to the same conclusion. My family sometimes picks on me, and they're like, hey, Mr. CERN guy, because I have theories on CERN. Now, I don't care if it's CERN. I don't care if it's Burn. I don't care if it's MERN. I don't care what ERN it is. It could be anything. I think if you're smashing particles together, which is the basic building blocks of life, especially if you speed them up to different time differentials, which is an actual physical property of matter. And I think if you smash them together after you've created And I think that's the whole point of CERN. Now, I could be dead wrong. They really could just be smashing these suckers together, spending $60 billion each 8-month experiment, plus a lot more expenses we probably aren't told about. But they could be spending all of this just to see what the little tiny basic building blocks of life is. Or not building blocks of life, but the building blocks of everything is. They could. Of the universe, thank you. They could be. Now, yeah, that's a possibility, sure. Why not? My issue, though, is it worth it? Is it worth the money we put in? Is it worth the time? What have we learned? I mean, yeah, we might have found some D-Wave. We might have found out the technology that led us to D-Wave. We might have found out the technology that let us advance our computers to the next level. We may have found that there is a Higgs particle that proves something about gravity. But like I've said a million times, guys, why don't we go ahead and not even worry about this until we've solved problems like world peace? You all right, Darkwolf? Looked like you fell over. Oh, was that your phone?
Yeah.
From our viewpoint, it looked like you tipped right off your chair. Like, wow.
No, actually, my tablet decided to take a jump off the desk.
Okay. I thought so. I was like, whatever he's recording with must have fell because, dude, so you were sitting there like this, and this is what we saw. It just looked like you tipped right back, dude. No joke. I was like, Darkwolf, we lost you. You fell off the cliff. So anyway, I just think it's a bad idea. We should solve all of our problems before we put, $60 billion could have fed a lot of hungry people. And when you live in a country, whichever it is, where everyone around you eats every day, you forget about the large part of the world that doesn't. And that is my biggest point on all of this. Yeah, it's probably really bad for our natural world to create these nuclear blasts. And a lot of us forget that inside these colliders, those are nuclear blasts, just like the ones you see when they drop a bomb. So anyway, we saw Max, he gave us some insight, pretty cool
He gave us some really good information. I agree.
He's just one of those types of, oh crap, that was the timer for check out that Chan Chan. It is time to check out that Chan Chan, Darkwolf. What do we do when we check out a Chan Chan? And what is a Chan Chan?
Yeah, so a Chan Chan is a YouTube channel, and usually it's one that we check out that have somebody that we either enjoy their content, or even the users can suggest, the viewers in the chat can suggest us one to go look at, and we'll check out that Chan Chan. And when we do, we don't just go by and stop by and say, hey, look here, look what we're doing. No, you know us, the Rockinati, we got to take it just a step further. We make sure to leave a comment, a very nice, have a great day. We're stopping by a live stream to say hi. Hope you're having a wonderful time. And we encourage all our Rockinauts to do the same as they're watching us. I don't care if you're watching a replay or the live stream. Go on over to these channels, say hello, look at their stuff, give them likes, give them subscribes. That's what check out that Chan Chan is. We go to all these different channels and leave nice comments and, make them feel good about themselves.
That's right. We went over. We had a guest. We had Third Phase of Moon stop by again. They talked to us a little bit. They jumped out. And so we went to Third Phase of Moon, their newest video. Snowden warns us of a major event. We went down. We told them, thank you for stopping by. And we will work with everyone on YouTube to make a better YouTube. That's the point of our network that we are creating, the new Tube network. We want a better YouTube. We want better content. We want better standards. We want all of the filth on YouTube erased. We want that delete button pressed. We want a higher level of production value, entertainment, and any, whether you want to be a guy playing a video game or you want to be someone doing conspiracies or you want to show some UFOs. We just want everyone to work towards a better new tube. So I'm going to say PS. This comment was left during our live stream. Stay safe. Or I don't want to stay safe. Be careful because of the storm. Guys. Keep in touch. We are right here.
That was really awesome of them to come on by and hang out with the Rockinats in chat for a while. I'm sure that made at least a couple people's day right there, just being able to talk with them.
Well, you know, it made my day, and I want to tell you, man, they gave me some evidence and wanted me to look at one of their videos they'd put out and gave me the source evidence. And I looked at it, and I didn't think it was great source evidence myself, and I let them know, and I put out a response video because I was being pressured to handle it all these different ways. I haven't talked about this live. I just want to say a couple little tiny things. For one, a lot of people respected me for being so nice. Well, yeah, I'm going to be nice. I'm nice to everybody. I'm nice to everybody about anything that happens. And am I mad at Third Phase? Why would I be mad at them? Someone asked me that. I'm going to answer you. No. Am I disappointed in them? No. They put out some source stuff. All I asked them was, look, when you get source stuff, look closer. Because, look, when I first looked at it, I'm not going to lie, I thought it looked good. And then when I saw that, you know, when they put it in, they looked like they use a brightness filter or maybe a different filter. So I said, hey, next time, just don't use that either. Just drop source in. If it's dark source picture, just let it be dark. Everybody will respect the fact that it's dark, or just put a little note, you know, contrast adjusted. These are just the little practices we are asking for, you know, and a lot of people have been messaging me saying, who are you? Who are you to ask these big channels that have been doing this for a long time? And who is a guy with almost 1,000 subscribers asking a channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers to do something different? How is that your place, Uni? And I'm here to tell you, it's my place. I think it's their place. I think it's your place. I don't think that subscriber count means that we can't speak our mind and tell people that we want different things to happen. I don't think that subscriber count means you should be able to bully someone, which Third Phase has never done to us, and they've been cool the whole time. So yeah, I'm going to be nice back. And subscriber count doesn't mean that we should use tactics that aren't necessarily what we would normally use to try to make someone either look good or bad, or we're just all honest. And you know what I think? You know what I think about this? You know,
what do you think, Uni?
I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me for saying this, and I honestly have to tell everyone how I really feel. I think Third Phase is trying really hard. I don't care what. I got a lot of comments saying, dude, you cut him too much slack. You should have been mean to him. Well, you know what? Maybe that's my decision. Maybe I should decide that. Maybe I should decide. And you know what I'm going to do? I've even had people try to fight me, and I've been nice up until they put their hands on me, and then I've taken care of it. But I'm just saying, you can do pretty much anything to me, right up to hurting me or one of my family members, and I'm still going to be nice. You call me whatever name you want. You can throw something at me. You can, you know, whatever you got to do. Why do I do that? Why do we do that? Why do we always try to, no matter what happens, take a better road and try to be a better person, and not better than anyone else, just better than what those actions are? Exactly. We take the high road. We just, because look, people respect that, and then it reflects, and those people learn something. And I'm not going to go on a big tangent. I just wanted to say, if I'm going to lose subscribers for saying it, which I already have, I'm sorry. If I'm going to gain subscribers from saying it, that's not why I'm saying it. But I'm telling you, I'm not gaining subscribers from saying it, so it doesn't matter. Anyway.
But the point, I think the point is, no matter if you're debunking or if you're calling someone out, or no matter what you're doing, be nice about it. Don't be afraid to speak your mind like you always say, but be nice about it. There's two ways to go about things. Yes. You can walk into a room and yell at somebody, or you can walk into a room and ask somebody something. There's two different ways to go about everything.
Darkwolf gets it, man. And I'm not even trying to make him get it. This is what everyone should get. Everybody should always stop and say, what's the nicest, best way to handle? I don't even care if it's a bad situation. You think that before you handle that situation, you always keep that up there in the brain frame, right in the front. It's going to be a better world by the time we're all done doing this stuff. Now, Raphael has stopped by like almost all of our last few. He's been here too. And there's Raphael. He says, that's why I love you so much, dude. I'm the same. Same for Dark Wolf. You know, that's true, Raphael. And I'm glad. I'm glad that we're all like-minded people. I think that's why we're all chilling. Rusty said the same thing. Yeah, I think that's what Rusty was saying. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Rusty, I'm glad you're in here, but text me later. I didn't get a text message from you. I sent you my number. Send me another text. My phone really does jack up all the time, and we've been having bad weather. I'll send you another message if that message didn't go through or something, but it's on Discord. It was a private message inside of the Rockinati Discord page, which I'll drop a link later because we want to get all you guys in there. We're not in there all the time, but when we are, we have some great discussions. Now, we have – wait, I forgot to play it. We're checking out a different Chan, so we're going to – all right. We're going to check out – now, the reason I'm checking out Raphael's Chan, you're like, Uni, you've checked out his Chan like the last 4 times because he always comes in and chills with us, and he's cool, and I love his stuff. So we're going to go ahead and bomb him again. We're going to comment, bomb him again. If you got time, head right over here. I'm going to drop a link right downstairs. Hold on. Let me run down the stairs here. Dropping that link. Dropped it. Run back up the steps. Okay. We're going to go to the first video because I haven't bombed this one yet. And the comments are going to load, and we're going to bomb him. We're going to drop him some comments. I need one more channel. I need somebody downstairs, right down there in those. I say down there because the comments are literally right under this window on my computer. You know, that's the only reason I'm saying that. Anyone down in the comments, right underneath the video, let me know a channel to check out really quick. A Chan to check out. Hey, buddy. We are live streaming inside a live stream. You know what? I just thought of something, Dark Wolf. Maybe Sun didn't. Maybe when they smashed those particles together, it did nothing. Maybe reality is breaking apart because we keep streaming inside of a stream inside of a stream. We've even done that.
You know what? We might be breaking down the dimensions of reality by doing that too much. We get too deep, and it just all starts to fall apart in the end. Then when we come back, we accidentally change something. A butterfly effect.
That's right. We butterfly affected YouTube. Now, just describe to you. Oh, Rusty gave Raphael I said his name wrong. Raphael a subscription. Rusty, that's why you're a member of the Rockinati. We spread the love around here, man. We spread those subs around, man. We spread those likes. Those downvotes. Nope. We don't like negativity. We keep it whoop-a-doo up here. All right. Night Terrors. Somebody put Night Terrors. Andrew Eaton said Night Terrors. If it's a channel, we're going to bomb it. So this was in the comments. I don't know. Oh, they got 71 videos. So we're going to bomb them. Oh, damn.
The ancients.
Yikes. He's got a lot of subscribers. Maybe he'll give me all of his subscribers for love bombing him. Who knows? Okay, let's click on Beering Cans, Hidden City of the Philippines. Whoa, that sounds interesting.
And who is this?
This is Night Terrors. I'm going to drop a link down in the description if you want to do a bomb. If you guys want to bomb him with me, comment bomb him. Yeah, I don't know him, but I like the name of the video, and he's got 300,000 views with way more thumbs up than down. So I might come back and watch this one. Why would I come back when we can watch it together? We'll check it out for a second. Let's just tell him. Hi, we are streaming inside a... Wait, this guy's not streaming, so that didn't make sense. Whoops. Anyway, leaving a comment on our live show, the Rockinati on the rock. Unirock, come by and say hi. Maybe we will get a new friend. Maybe. Let's hear what this is.
On one of the larger Philippine islands is hidden a city called Beringin. Its inhabitants are free to travel abroad, but not just anyone from the outside can visit Beringin. You have to be invited there.
What?
Really?
I'm loving the music. Anyone else loving the music?
Oh, I'm digging it.
The island of Samar 150 miles long, is home to the hidden city of Beringen. Well known to the Filipino citizens there, and located somewhere in the northeast quarter of the isle. It is said to exist in a different dimension.
Oh, damn.
Whoa, what?
Reported seeing its lights, shining brighter than that of any other coastal city. But captains know to steer clear of this port. In times when traditional fishing areas are overexploited, fishermen who wander into the abundant seafood reserves off the shore of Beringen City may be unable to chart a course back home.
Whoa.
That is interesting as hell. Isn't it, Dark?
Yeah, I'm definitely going back to sub this guy. I've got to check out the stuff he's got going up.
I just subscribed myself. I'm even turning on that little ding ding and letting it send me my noties. All right. That is awesome. I don't know who suggested that. His face scared me when it popped up. Michelle's funny, man. She said she got scared when that dude came on. He kind of freaked me out. Michelle, you're right. I just didn't want to admit it because I'm a dude and like I didn't want all the other guys to be like, Uni, you're a scaredy cat. But
don't worry, we're nice around here.
Good. Well, I was scared too, Michelle. I'll just go ahead and admit it. Now, I'm going to skip. We don't have a time to watch every video all the way through, but I want to see what it says at about the 10-minute mark, just for 10 seconds. 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Japanese occupation, it is a matter of record. The company pulled up stakes. Instead of leaving with a profit, they were forced to cut short their losses.
Interesting. Interesting.
So if you want to see the rest of it, definitely go stop by Night Terror's channel and see what he's got going on. If you like what he's talking about, which sounds like some really interesting stuff, go ahead and give him a subscribe and a like. I definitely personally am going to subscribe right this second.
Oh yeah. Now I know that it was suggested by a viewer, so that's probably why, but I didn't click on the video the viewer told me to. I clicked on just a random video. So I think this was kind of a synchronicity, like a coincidence deal. I think that it was meant for me to click there because we've been talking about multiple dimensions, and you heard the first thing the man said. They live in another dimension. Crazy, right?
Oh, that is crazy to think. You know, it kind of reminds me of High Brazil, island that was spoke about a whole lot off the Ireland coast that was said to appear and disappear at random. They could be interdimensional.
Very much so. And I love High Brazil. I love all of those stories. Atlantis, High Brazil, all the other ones.
We've got to touch Atlantis tonight on a full show, bub.
Oh, we are. It's in the book. I've got we're building a lot of facts. Disintegral just said an island in another dimension. Very much so. Now, I want to tell you guys, one thing you may not know about Unirock is you and I rock. And that's why we're here at Unirock. I don't know what we're going to do next, but oh, I must have been confused. It was time for the random Wikipedia article, and I didn't even know it. It just told us, though, it's on the random Wikipedia article timer, and it just went off.
Well, I guess it's time to do a random Wikipedia article. For those who don't know or are just joining us, random Wikipedia article is where we go into Wikipedia and we start hitting the random button. And while we're hitting this random button, we wait for a viewer to give us a stop. And when they do, we stop on whatever article it's on, and we learn something new every day. Because if you don't learn something new every day, your day has truly been wasted. So stop, Salted Cedar.
Thomas, he's good. He's good. He's waiting on this. He waits on this one. I know, because he gives us most every one of them. Thomas Busby was a composer. 1755 to 1838. Was an English musical composer. Born on December of 1755 in Westminster. He died in 28 of May, 1838 in Pentonville. I always love reading about people like this, musicians, other people. You know, we always forget, Dark Wolf, that let's just go rewind in history 100 years to 1917, okay?
Okay.
We forget that most everyone that lived then is gone now. There may be just a few people left. And it's so mind-boggling to think that so many souls, that happens every age, every generation. It's so mind-boggling to think we're only here for a short time. Reading about people like that were here before us really helps us understand that we need to make the most with our lives. So he was a coach. Oh, dude.
Perspective, doesn't it?
It does, dude. But this guy was a painter. Oh, no, he was the son of a painter.
Okay.
That worried me. We've had politicians, lots of plants. We've had a painter that painted plants. I really don't want another painter brought up. Can't even make this stuff up. You really can't, dude. His early works, his first venture was the composition of music to a play by William Kenrick, The Man and the Master. But this was never finished. He then turned his attention to oratorio, which was a large musical composition for orchestra, like an opera. Includes the use of choir, soloists, and ensembles with various other instruments. He got married, and in his final years, he lived with his married daughter at Queens Row, Pentonville, where he died at the age of 84 on Monday. According to an obituary notice, he was eccentric and held loose notions on religious subjects. I'm sure he was an interesting man to meet. The conversations we could have if we got a chance to interview him. What do you think, Dark Wolf?
Oh, I would kill to have 10 minutes to interview somebody like that. I've always adored music myself. I can't read it. I can't write the notes to it, but I love reading about all these like artistic people in history that have brought us such wonderful works.
That's right. Salted Cedar says spiritual. Very much so. Also, one of the fellow Rockinats, Andrew Eaton, says, there is a good article on abiogenesis that ties into the last stream. Very true, it does. We will look at this. It would have been crazy if it would have landed on that. Very true. And that's what really surprises us about these. We always do one other thing, though. When we get an article.
When we get an article that we don't like, we've got to hit that button just one more time. And we never like the first article, no matter how amazing it is. So, Uni, hit that button.
I'm going to hit it. I did like this one, though, but we're going to change the rules tonight. We're going to always hit it one more time. Just because it's random. Hal Padmore. That's interesting. I don't know what this is. Born. Okay, it was a person. Okay. Former Canadian cricketer. He was a right-handed batsman and a right-arm medium pace bowler, which are different positions, just like in baseball, football, soccer, different basketball, different positions at the game of cricket. Cricket was a very big game when it still is. People still love playing it. I like it. Such an excellent game, but I went ahead and copy-pasted abiogenesis. So I think we should talk about it because we went on a very large discussion about the origin of life. Abiogenesis gives some theories into it. So abiogenesis or yeah, this is a good one. Biopoiesis, or informally, the origin of life, the natural process by which life arises from non-living matter, such as simple organic compounds. Abiogenesis is studied through a combination of paleontology, laboratory experiments, and extrapolation from the characteristics of modern organisms, and aims to determine how pre-life chemical reactions gave rise to life on Earth. The study of abiogenesis can be geophysical, chemical, or biological. Now, we'll just break that down for 2 seconds. It's basically what we were really talking about, how the thought that life forms naturally on this earth through evolution and other means. Now, what's a bio mean? I think it means Genesis is origin, and bio is life. I don't know what A means when you put it in front of it, though, in Latin. I'd have to look it up. Single.
Genesis. Single
Okay.
life Genesis.
There we go. Single. I'd forgotten that. Thank you, buddy. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so many approaches to biogenesis investigate how self-replicating molecules or their components came into existence. And that's exactly what we've been looking at. Self-replicating molecules. A molecule, a basic thing, a atom, well, molecular. Now, of course, when you go into self-replication, the first thing you're going to see is the molecular structure of DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid. And it's the blueprint. It's the thing it's the code. It's the thing that lays inside of every cell inside of us that tells those cells what they are going to be, what they are going to do, how they're going to do it, how they're going to grow, how they're going to reproduce, split, how they're going to gain energy, how they eat, how they drink, how they do everything they do.
Absolutely. It's a basic blueprint. Out the creature itself.
That's right. Any self-replicating mechanism which does not make a perfect copy will experience genetic variation. Now, that is us. Now, we do have twins, but in nature, most of the single-celled organisms, they split and became perfect copies. And it was through mutation they started to split but have variations. And the variations that were more suited to living lived, and the variations that were more suited to not living faded out. And through this constant cycle, more complex life eventually formed that was more suited to live somewhere, which is, in fact, the basis behind evolution, which is something we went into yesterday, but we were looking at it from more of a side of how complex is DNA. How probable is it for DNA to just randomly appear? Now, I do know that you will find many explanations for the fact that it will appear, but I want to bring that picture up again. I just want us to look at this. DNA is a very complex thing. This is just one single part, and this is just showing us the molecular structure of DNA. Chemical structure of DNA with collared label identifying the 4 bases as well as the phosphate and deoxyribose components of the backbone. That's why they call it deoxyribose nucleic acid, because the backbone being the deoxyribose, if I said that correctly, nucleic acid being the acid that's inside the nucleus that tells it what to do. So interesting to think that this tells us all about what we are. And it doesn't really even look like it would.
The fact that we can break it down to a single chemical structure like DNA is just so mind-boggling. And the fact that every last one of us are made of DNA, every skin cell we shed, everything we do from our bodies drops DNA everywhere we go.
Very much so.
That's just such a wild thought to wrap your head around, you know?
And it's the one thing, we brought up the discussion yesterday. DNA is the one thing that pretty much tells us if something is able to be eaten or not. I wonder if when we eat organic material, if really what our body is needing is the DNA.
Now that's an interesting way to look at that. I had never considered that before. And you know, it makes sense because we got a lot of there was a big thing years ago about the hormones being fed into the animals, and how after the animals are slaughtered and sent to market and whatnot, that the hormones are still in them, and we're re-ingesting them, so they're affecting us. The DNA from these creatures really do affect our DNA itself, which is why GMO is such a scary thing.
Yeah, explain GMO to everybody.
Okay, for those who don't know, GMO is genetically modified organisms. And what they're trying to do is modify things to the point where they won't go bad or
I'm not laughing at you. Did you see what Michelle said?
No, but
She
she's
said
a
mine's-
riot.
She said mine's probably damaged. Frowny face. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy. She was talking about her DNA, I think. My DNA is damaged. Michelle, you're so funny. Go ahead, buddy. Sorry. Uh-oh. Darkwolf? Darkwolf? We can't hear you, bub. You might have to drop out and back in really fast. He will finish explaining that when he comes back. I was just kind of looking around at some of the different parts of DNA. I couldn't get it to pop up. I don't know what happened. Help for Wikipedia. Oh, there it is. Cytosine is one of the 4 main bases found in DNA and RNA, along with adenine, guanine, and thymine, uracil in RNA. It is a pyrimidine derivative with a heterocyclic aromatic ring and 2 substituent attached. And a lot of that even I don't understand. I'd have to break it down and really read it. Charlene, you're so right. We did talk about the sleeping giants. We really need to hit the sleeping giants again. Darkwolf, dude, restart for me. I need you in here. I need you to get in here, buddy. Darkwolf needs to, I forget. Guys, what was Darkwolf saying? What was the name of that? Because I want to type it in. GMO. He was saying about GMO, right? Okay. See, I haven't studied GMO a lot, and I wanted Darkwolf to take the reins on that one. But genetically modified organism, and yeah, horrible thing. And so many people have a problem with these. The government, scientists, other things, other organizations. I mean, they go in and they've really mapped out DNA, and they get real deep. They get really deep, and it's like a computer code to them. And they go in and they change parts of the DNA, or they combine. You could take a dog and combine the DNA of something else to try to make a different organism. Those are called chimeras, and they've been mentioned all through the ancient texts. So I'm going to talk to you guys for a second while we wait on Darkwolf to drop out and back in. I might kick him. I might go ahead and kick him so he can come back. Or not kick him. There's a different way to eject him. I can eject him, which I don't think. Oh man, I think if I eject him, it won't let him back in. Shoot. All right, Darkwolf. I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope you get back in here soon, buddy. Yeah. So anyway, sleeping giants. Rusty says, as in Titans. Well, kind of. The sleeping giants we talked about yesterday. They were found in mounds. There are reports of these tombs with these preserved giants that when they were dug up, when they were taken from the mounds, when they were taken out of their tombs, they were a lot larger than human beings, but they came back to life. Now, not just that. We actually typed it in. We searched the pictures. We searched for other things. And what we found were pictures of these giants. And Darkwolf's back. I'm going to go ahead and let him pick up on genetically modified organisms. I gave him a little base rundown while you reconnected, but keep on going, buddy. We're ready for you.
Excellent. I appreciate it, bud. I had a little issue there. My darn tablet shut itself off. I didn't have it plugged in. So GMOs. GMOs are genetically modified organisms, and the whole point is they're trying to create plants that have their own anti-weed agents and anti-bug agents. And these things like you would spray on your plants to keep the pests away. Well, they're now trying to build these into the seeds so that they're in it when it grows up. They've got apples right now that you can buy these in stores. I cannot remember the name right now, right as we speak, but you can cut these apples open. You can set them on your countertop, and they will never turn brown. So there we go. So we're going to have a bad apple, but we ain't going to know it's bad. I don't think it's a really good idea. And then when you're messing with seeds, when you're messing with the actual genetic material of something, and we're ingesting this messed up genetic material or changed genetic material, the effects that it could possibly have on our own systems are just absolutely out of this world. There could be sicknesses that appear. There could be no telling what damage appeared just from eating these GMO foods created by one company, Monsanto. And that's a whole nother conspiracy in itself. But yeah, that's the basic rundown of GMOs.
Very much so. Yeah, these GMOs aren't good for people, says Jacob. I agree. Rusty says that fuck that. Sorry to drop the bomb, but he said F that. There's a video out there about them using cloned meat now too, and the FDA has no regulations for it. It's so strange. Like I said, this is another one of those examples where why do we need to take the money and pump billions, if not, or millions, if not billions, into researching GMOs, genetically modified food and things like that? Why research it? Why try to make it? Why pump it out when we have regular food? Take the millions you were going to research this with and put out regular food for the masses. Personally, I could care less whether my food is going to have a better propensity for bugs to eat it. I don't want it to produce a agent that keeps bugs away. I don't want to take that into my body. I want food. I want to eat food that is just like the food that we have been eating for the thousands of years as humans. I think it's a horrible thing. And once that stuff, let's just say some of that genetically modified food, let's say the wind catches a seed and it flies out and it just interpopulates with regular plants. It could be the dooming of mankind. We've actually had laboratories like, what's that island out? There's an island out by New York City and over in Maryland and Maine and stuff.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of the name, but they genetically modify animals. It's where the animal was found on the shore, the chimera. Because I brought up chimeras gone. Chimera, yeah. I want to read this one part because I think it really backs up what we're saying. And of course, my source, like usual, is Wikipedia. It's the dictionary that you can edit. You can submit these articles and make sure that everything on the planet Earth and in the universe has an article. Every person, every plant, every politician has an article on Wikipedia. And if you submit some bad information, it has a checking system. You have to list your sources, and your information is either factual or it will get reported by the same people that write it, taken down, and reworked. Wikipedia, www.wikipedia.org. Now, back to what we were talking about. In 1983, the first genetically engineered plant was developed by them, blank, blank, blank. They infected tobacco with a bacterium transformed with an antibiotic-resistant gene, and through tissue culture techniques were able to grow a new plant containing the resistance gene. The gene gun was invented in 1987, allowing transformation of plants not susceptible to the bacterium infection. In 2000, vitamin A enriched golden rice was the first plant developed with increased nutritional value. Darkwolf, who cares? Why do they need to infuse vitamins into this food if they just grow it like it's supposed to be grown? Yeah, it may cost more money. It might cost 10 cents more to buy a bag of rice. It might cost $1 more to buy bulk. But the truth of the matter is that's better for the people. It's better for all of us. It's ridiculous to think that they should do this. Another thing that I hate is when these restaurants strip our food down and they don't even really serve us the thing that we went in there to get. It's just a plastic empty shell of a food that looks like what we're supposed to eat. I hate that. What very important to understand about this real fast, so I don't want to ramble. In 1974, Rudolf Giensich created a transgenic mouse by introducing foreign DNA into its embryo, making it the world's first transgenic animal. However, it took another 8 years before these transgenic mice were developed that passed the transgene to their offsprings. They couldn't reproduce. 8 years to make them be able to genetically reproduce. They could grow them. They would live. They wouldn't live as long. They'd die. They had horrible mutations sometimes. Now, here's the other part of this. Genetically modified mice were created in 1984 that carried cloned oncogenes, predisposing them to developing cancer. Mice with genes knocked out, the knockout mouse, were created in 1989. The first transgenic livestock were produced in 1985. Livestock being living stock or our food. And the first animal to synthesize transgenic proteins in their milk were mice engineered to produce human tissue plasminogen activator in 87. Whatever that means, it's not good.
Oh, I agree.
Now, yeah, really sucky. But the scariest part right here, I'm going to drop into chat because I hope that everyone reads it, everyone hears me, and everybody thinks about this. Bacteria were the first organisms to be modified in the lab due to the relative ease of modifying their genes. Now look at all the different diseases and different bacterias and different things that we've had come to pass and infect humanity and bring woe and pain and suffering amongst us. And we think about the fact that we've been modifying these things. We don't know if we're going to modify them the right way. The only way to know is through trial and error. And how do we know that one of these modified bacteriums didn't produce one of the illnesses that's killing people all around the globe? Most likely.
Well, you know what's interesting? What's really interesting is we came up. I didn't mean to talk to you there for a minute, but
no, you're good. You're good.
When on last night's stream, when we discussed this, we did discuss the idea that perhaps bacteria was the first organism in on up the chain. Now, given the piece of information we just seen dropped into the chat here that we just seen on the screen, that they're the easiest to work with, that would make a whole lot of evidential sense.
And Rusty just gets the Rockinati prize of the night. He just named the island that we were looking for. Montauk Island. It's the one off of New York where they did these experiments. And it's important for us to look at it, so we're going to type it in. Thanks, Rusty.
Oh, man, Montauk.
Rockinati.
That's a whole nother. As a matter of fact, Andrew Eaton and Disintegral said something a little bit earlier in the chat, too. So credit where it's due to everybody who did come up with the Montauk. You are absolutely correct. There's
Sorry,
a
that was
whole
an
lot of
error.
things. I'm sure our amazing Rockinauts understand, especially Rusty. He's always up with the great information. But Montauk has got so much behind it. If you guys ever, especially if you're into conspiracy theory, you ever have a chance to sit down and look at all the stuff around Montauk, definitely give it a look.
Oh, for sure. It is a scary place. In fact, I don't get a lot on Wikipedia. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it into that famous bar at the top, the Google search bar, and we're going to take a look at what comes up. Star Islands Yacht Club and Marina. Well, let's type conspiracy at the end.
Google
Right,
bringing you the Rockinati Show. Because if not for Google, nobody here could see this amazing program we're bringing out. Nobody could join us in chat. And if not for them, we wouldn't have met. We wouldn't have YouTube. We wouldn't have Hangouts. Google, one of the best products in the world, because they've given it to us for free for our use.
And that's what I love about it. And a lot of people accuse me of working for Google because I do advertise their products. And I want to tell you, I do not work for Google because they don't pay me. Now, back to what we were talking about. Plum Island is another good one.
Oh, yeah.
The island is in Gardner's Bay, east of Orient Point, and it's owned in its entirety by the United States government, which was considering sale of the island as part of a debt reduction package. Who would want to buy it? Not me. Actually, it's kind of pretty.
Oh, it is very pretty.
It's one of those places where a lot of conspiracy comes out because it's the Animal Disease Center. So what we've been talking about ties in directly to this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The Animal Disease Center, huh?
Mm-hmm. They actually modify, create, and test different cures, vaccines, medications to use against these animal diseases. There's a lot of conspiracy, though, and I want to make sure that we point it out. So let me jump back in our search, roll down to a page that'll let us know. You know, there's so many islands just surrounded by conspiracy.
Oh man,
44
a whole
things. Conspiracy
You've
Island.
also got Prince Charles Island up area around Canada too. That's got a whole lot of oddities surrounding it.
Yeah. Well, we just found another one. There's an acre-sized slot of soil and bush. It's privately owned and uninhabited according to the census. Conspiracy Island sits on the Assinat River just off the Berkeley shoreline. Although it's technically private land, many swimmers and waders make use of its shore during the dog days of summer. Why is it called Conspiracy Island? Let's take a look. That video said it all. The public is not supposed to step foot on the private island, covered mostly by grass and sapling cedars. When the tide drops, the mercury soars, however. Swimmers and fishermen often violate the ban and utilize the tiny slice of land bobbing off of Berkeley's skirt as a tiny island oasis. The behavior's no worse than plotting wars. A few rotting fish can't keep folks away from the cool water and untouched historic soil. So basically, there are extreme levels of mercury around this island, and nobody knows why.
Mercury, now that's an interesting choice, because I know you and I have studied ancient Egypt to a large degree, and I know we both run across the information of the rivers of mercury that have been found under some of the places in ancient Egypt.
Oh yes, Darkwolf. You can just type in rivers of mercury, and it pops right up. Also, Qin Shi Huang's tomb is also thought to be encircled with rivers of liquid mercury, which the ancient Chinese believed could bestow immortality. It's kind of ironic, Rami said. It's probably how he died.
Right?
Poor guy.
But we find this in a whole lot of ancient cultures, and I didn't even know about the Chinese one there. So, again, it's a link between all the different areas of the world, ancient world, that had the same ideas. They were all using mercury for whatever reason. And now we found it in, what, Montauk?
Oh, yeah. Near Montauk. And, yeah, you know, in these tombs, a lot of these ancient Chinese tombs, they did have high levels of mercury. It's a metal, and it operates just like water. It's liquid. But as the temperature rises, if it's put into a little sealed vacuum container, it'll tell us what temperature it is. That's how we use thermometers. It's really crazy. Look at this image. When we type in rivers of liquid mercury, we get a lot of just regular looking rivers. But the problem is they are very high in mercury. I wonder what the conspiracy is behind it. Yes. Definitely.
Well, that's one thing that scientists have yet to explain, is why the rivers of mercury were underneath these ancient sites. Like, they have no idea, no reason, no tools around it, nothing that they could have been in. The mercury could have been interacting with at all besides just being there.
And I'm going to type in pyramids because you said it. I've heard it. We all know about it. It's said that there could be, I didn't put Egyptian, I'm sorry, a lot of mercury underneath the pyramids.
I knew it was some tombs. Oh, it is.
Yeah. I mean, this is just creepy. Actually, mercury is also listed as one of the main ingredients in making a vimana. Inside of a vimana, they say that since mercury is a metal and it is liquid at room temperature here on planet Earth, spinning mercury in a certain way, kind of like in a whirlpool fashion, and it would create a magnetic field because it is a magnetic metal. And that because of this, it can create some type of magnetic field that will reduce the effects of gravity on a craft. It's been a theory for a long time.
I wonder if they were using monoatomic gold mixed in with this, because we do know that monoatomic gold will actually lighten an object by 400%. We learned that the other night. too.
Exactly. And yeah, you see these pyramids. A lot of them are showing the pyramids in South America. Teotihuacan, liquid mercury has been found in large quantities beneath the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent at Teotihuacan, Mexico. Let's, instead of typing Egyptian, type Mayan. See what we get. This is extremely interesting to me. It's from The Guardian, though, so we can't take too much of it to be fact. We can, though, maybe see some necessary.
We can discern what we can out of it.
Charlene, we love you. We're so glad you are here. We know you're getting tired. If you're tired, I'm getting tired too. We are going to end our stream soon, just because of the sheer fact that we need to sleep. But we want to hit this topic. We're going to do some channel business, and we're going to drop out. Thank you. If you do fall asleep before we end,
real quick, Charlene hit me up on the our videos, our replays over on Dark Wolf's Den. She's hit me up on every one, but last couple of nights she's been asking me, "Are y'all going to go Saturday?" I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I don't have any kids. I've got monsters. I'm going to stay up and watch you guys live. She was really, really excited to be here. So we are so happy you were able to join us tonight, Charlene. It has been a wonderful pleasure. I know you don't get live chats very often, so I really wanted to point that out. You've been so excited to get here. I'm glad we were able to come.
definitely. And we love every one of our Rockinats. That's why we do this. It's to spend time with you guys. I know sometimes we miss your comments. It's just because we get into the show. Yay, Mayan Adventures is here and says, Plum Island and Lyme disease, yo. Yeah, yo, you got it. There are lots of diseases, Lyme disease being one of the top, that are blamed on Plum Island with good reason, in my opinion. I got to take my Motrin. My back's starting to hurt.
Oh, I hear you, man. Yeah, Lyme disease, that's actually spread along the whole coast, isn't it? Because I know down here in Tennessee, we've got a lot of problem with that in the mountains.
Oh, for sure. And I'm going to go ahead. We've been talking about Discord, have we not?
Oh, we very much have. So why don't we
Why
go
don't you
ahead
tell
and
them
show
what Discord is, buddy?
Okay, while you're pulling
Oh,
it. Do what?
I'll grab the link while you let them know what it is.
All right, so Discord is a chat and audio app. A lot of us use it. A lot of us in Mandela Effect community use it. Anybody who wants to hang out with the Rockinati after the show or anytime during the week when we're in there, because it is sporadic, then you can definitely stop on by. We have our own chat server. We've got a couple different rooms in there. We got something for gamers. We've got something for just a regular general chat. We'd love to have all our Rockinauts over there hanging out with us when we're not able to live stream with them. And, you know, there's a lot of people to come in there that have a lot of great information. And one of the best things about it, if I come home from work and I want to see what's been going on the Discord, I can literally scroll back for days and read every conversation that was had. So if you miss the information, if somebody says, hey, I posted something, you can go back and look. It's not a problem. So definitely check this app out. I don't push anything I don't use, and I use Discord quite a bit.
Yeah, yes, Darkwolf, very much so. So interesting. We all can talk just like we had cell phones. If you don't want to talk, it's fine. It doesn't use video. You don't have to worry about having to appear on a camera or someone seeing into your home on Discord. We're just there to talk to each other. Communicate. If we want to use video chat, we go into Hangouts with email addresses. So we have all options to communicate, and we use them. We go there. We get to know each other a little better. We talk on the off hours when we're not streaming, and we have so many Rockinauts. Another cool thing, when you join my server, you're going to be immediately promoted. As soon as I see you, once a day I go through and promote everybody to the title of Rockinaut. Creamy, I would never be hostile towards anyone. I hope you do come into Discord. We can talk. We'll make up, because I want you here, buddy. I like having you here. I've always liked you. We've only been having issues because we had a little spat, but that's what friends do, buddy. We have spats sometimes. I just hope you're not mad at us, and you're still a Rockinaut. I want you to still be here. Jump in that Discord server. Talk to everybody there. No one is ever... The one thing about the Unirock and Doc Lupos, but all the other people on our network, if something happens and people disagree with something, I didn't ban Creamy. I had a ban option. All I did was do timeout because it was just distracting me a little. I'm not mad at Creamy. I love Creamy. I love all kinds of Creamies. Oh, damn. I keep saying some messed up shit on this. It's about time to end this.
Jiffy, creamy peanut butter.
That's right. Peanut butter. I love creamy peanut butter. I'm going to say something. I'm going to get us banned, man. YouTube's going to shut us down for all the sexual annotations I keep dropping.
I tell you what, Rebel Rockers, man, we got to walk that line. We got to let them know we ain't playing.
We walk the line because, well, I don't know what I could say to that, but we do walk it all the time. We walk the line all the time. That rhymed. Whoa. I'm on a rhyme chain right there, bub. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about the pyramid in the Mayan pyramid of the feathered pyramid. I forget which one. Anyway,
the feathered serpent.
Feathered serpent. Liquid mercury found underneath it, and it could lead to a king's tomb, and that would make sense because in China, many of the king's tombs are found with this, and they thought that it had magical properties. It looks magical. In fact, I would love to look it up on YouTube, but we're running low on time, so I just want to get this all out. We're going to pick up next time where we left off with this topic. Let's see if we can find an example of what liquid mercury looks like really quick while we talk about some stuff and we get some stuff done here. Let's just type in liquid mercury.
While you're getting that pulled up,
I love this stuff.
Just another piece of evidence to prove that all the ancient civilizations had to know each other because, yeah, we've got pyramids, we've got all these different correlations, but now we've got another one, Mercury under all the different tombs. Like these cannot be coincidences. Now that I've said that little spiel, let's see what we've got in liquid mercury here.
Oh, I just like watching it. You know, it's a metal, but it's like water. It's liquid at room temperature. It's not see-through like water. It's just like the Terminator, and from Terminator 2 that was chasing me and my sidekick in one of my videos. It's definitely one of the prettiest metals, and the fact that it moves and acts like a liquid, look at that. The bullet floats on top of it because the mercury is heavier than the bullet. It's a very heavy metal, even though it's liquid.
In liquid form.
Yeah. Nothing, it's not like water. Water is the distiller. You drop something into water and it spreads through. Mercury isn't. Other types of liquids aren't. Just because something becomes a liquid, it doesn't behave like water, which is very interesting. Man, very toxic substance.
Extremely, extremely toxic substance. And it was just said down here in the chat that they actually use this in vaccines. I haven't verified that, but that's what one of our Rockinats have said.
Yeah, and that's a big conspiracy that they purposefully put mercury in the vaccines to poison people or to make them more susceptible to different things. Some conspiracies say evil spirits. Some conspiracies say cancer. Some conspiracies say they just do it to cause autism and to make to thin out the numbers of our human population. Regardless of the reason that mercury is in these things, it definitely shouldn't be there.
See, we got the best Rockinats. They know so much. They are so smart.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, that's why they're here, you know.
Man, look at that. It don't matter what they put.
Look at how it moves. It doesn't move like water. It's way different. You see how it kind of bobbed? It self bobs. Water brings itself down a little more. It
don't take nowhere near as long to stop.
Difference. No. Oh, why would they put a spider? That is rude.
To show that the spider can literally walk across the top of liquid.
Well, yeah, because it's a metal. It doesn't even see it walks on it because it's like it's walking on a solid.
Mm-hmm. The tension level on the top of that is extremely, extremely high.
I wonder why it said to never handle mercury indoors. Look at that.
Whoa.
Sucks right up through. And look what it does in water. It just sits like a metal does.
The only thing it don't float on. Huh.
We've got beautiful but deadly Mercury toy. I've seen toys like this. Remember, they used to make these all the time.
Oh, yes. Did you have one? I didn't have one. Did you have one?
Oh, yeah. I had a blue one. I don't know if Mercury came in it. I don't know. But I know that it's a different material inside. It might have been Mercury. And yeah, man, you flipped it upside down and you could watch the bubbles flow like that. And they would collect in the bottom and they would pop together.
So you were in this
oil.
town.
It's water and oil.
You know where I'm at. You were in this town. So they have a mall real close to where I'm located at right now. And like it's literally walking distance from where I'm sitting. But they had a place in there called Coach House Gifts. I don't know if they had it when you were here or not. But they had all those little pieces in that store. And I would walk through that store and flip over every last one of them. They had the sand ones. They had them all. And I walked through and roll every one of them over to watch them go.
Oh, yeah. There's just something awesome when you got a whole bunch of them all sitting there. It's like when you go into a store and you see a toy that says something and you push all of them at the same time and it's like 100 people talking at once. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yes, I'll walk into a toy section and they'll try to kick me out because I'll hit every, try me, okay, and I'll get every one of them going.
Yeah. Me too. So what they did is they took out the fluid that was in it and replaced it with liquid mercury and oil. I believe it said clear oil, clear corn syrup.
Right.
Doesn't that look cool?
That looks wild, dude.
Very deadly toy, but
right,
it does look so
but
awesome.
Just to watch that steady flow is so steady. And every single one's the same size.
It runs for much longer, it says. Yeah, you can see that because the mercury is heavier and it doesn't go through that hole as well.
I'm sorry. I was laughing.
Jennifer's back. Jennifer says you cannot eat mercury. You will not survive.
Well, you know, Disintegral said nothing like a nice, healthy death.
Dis, you got it. You can drink it, though, he says. So true, Dis. So true. Same results.
You know, I wonder what this would be in a monoatomic form. Or if you could get this into a monoatomic form.
Or a powdered form.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if the properties would change incredibly.
You know what's weird? Okay, we always look at things that are liquid, like mud and chocolate syrup and stuff, and we say, hey, you can take the water out of that and it'll make a chocolate powder. It'll make dirt. You can't do that with liquid mercury because it's not water that's mixed with it to make it a liquid. It's actually the metal.
In that, yeah. At that temperature.
In its liquid form because its melting point is much lower than regular metal. Huh.
Man, that is so neat, though.
I know, I should stop. It's like hypnotizing. It's like it hypnotized me. Like, seriously.
All right, well, let's go ahead and break the spell and move on around to,
I know we do. Yeah, I know there's other things we need to do, and I can't really think. It's like someone's telling us something.
I think they're saying that we need to do a random Wikipedia article.
Oh, good. Yeah. We can do that. We can. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Okay. Damn it. Sorry. I'm trying to get my TV screen set right. I messed it up. I messed my TV screen up. It's okay. Oh, I got it fixed. Bam. Okay. You know what this says, Darkwolf? It says
rock.
What happens if I hit play? It becomes Unirock.
Absolutely.
Because
man, great graphic.
Me and you are you. They are the I, you and I, rock. I got that backwards. Okay. Random Wikipedia
They are
article.
the you, we are the I, and we all rock. Because we are the Rockinati with the Rockinauts.
We are the Rockinati. We are on the Unirock. Having a good stream. Oh, finally, Bit's here. I don't know what took Bit so long. Where have you been, Bit of Venom?
Getting all sassy. Look at you.
You know it.
All
Been
right,
messaging
guys. So
all day.
for those who don't know, who have just joined us or may not have known us before in our segments, this is a random Wikipedia article. We go through it, the random button, and we keep hitting it until one of our wonderful live viewers says stop. So we're hitting the random button, and we are waiting, and they don't have it lined up and ready to go this time. So
Disintegral says, Bit of Venom has been here for the last half hour, Uni. Sorry, Bit. I was in a little zone. Whoa, got one. Tim Wewell is a radio and television journalist and foreign correspondent with the BBC. He grew up in Manchester, where his father, Harry Wewell, worked for the Manchester Guardian, then studied Russian and modern history. Well, not a lot of information on him. What do we do when we don't have a lot of information?
we hit that button one more time.
Paula Newby Fraser is an Ironman triathlete and duathlete. Let's take a look-see. Man, she's an Ironman. She's pretty tiny for an Ironman.
Right? That makes you wonder, Dynamite
thought
comes in
she'd be
small
killed.
packages.
What's Little Richard doing coaching her, though? That's strange. I didn't think he did that stuff. She was born in southern Rhodesia and raised in South Africa, where she was a nationally ranked swimmer as a child. So she was, whoa! Yeah, the Ironman World Championship. She got the gold in 86, 88, 89, 91, 92, 3, 4, 6, 90, 85, and 87. She got the last three, silver, bronze, and bronze, respectively.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say that's an Iron Woman. That's
Yeah,
a whole
Bit
lot
of
of
Venom
medals.
says. Oh, for sure. Bit says, never dare say stop again because I get idiotic topics. Well, Bit, try one more time. Bit, this is just for you. Give me a stop. I have a feeling we're going to get a really good topic this time.
So I'm waiting and watching, waiting and watching.
Disintegral says, is that triathlete Mandela affected? Little Richard was there. That has to be some kind of Mandela effect.
Stop from the Venom.
All right. Oh, we did get a stop. I don't see it. Oh, we didn't. Oh, we got one. Okay. Tigran Zempaliev is a Russian football player. He made his debut in the Russian Professional Football League in a game against Krasnodar. Oh, we got to do one more because John Murphy, St. Patrick's Battalion. Murphy was a native of Kyoto, Ireland, who later served with a battalion. Donald R. McDonald. Oh, shit.
Oh, an astronaut.
We got an astronaut. We got an astronaut. Okay. This was meant to be. He is a retired colonel at the USAF, United States of America Air Force, became the manager launch integration at the Kennedy Space Center, Florida in '97. In this capacity, he was responsible for final shuttle prep, launch execution, and return of the orbiter to KSC following landings at any location other than KSC. He was chair of the mission management team and final authority for launch decision. An important man. But with all the conspiracies we've seen, I wonder if he really was what they're saying, an astronaut. And I hate saying that because I love astronauts. Bit of it does. Most likely a good actor. My Adventure says, Ha. And Salted Cedar says, another living with a lie. Well, at least we're all on the same wavelength.
Was he responsible for the Challenger disaster then?
Challenger disaster. He must have been. Let's type in his name into Google. Great question. This awesome. We'll type in Donald R. McDougal. Challenger disaster. See what we get. Oh my God.
What do we got? Oh, whoa.
Says, let's find it. Control F. Challenger. So, first selector after the Challenger accident. Oh. First selection. What does that mean?
One of the first ones to be
42.
chosen afterwards.
Did he die in the Challenger? Reported to Johnson Space Center on 87 to begin their 1 year in training. 7 pilots and 8 mission specialists, 2 female mission specialists, including the first black woman astronaut, 10 military officers, and 5 civilians, including 3 from NASA's Johnson and 1 from NASA's Marshall. So he was involved in the STS-39. It was shuttle launch, space shuttle, manned 7 crew, deployed USA-70 and some other satellites, and retrieved IBSS payloads, infrared background signature survey, Air Force program, space test payload, multipurpose experiment canister, cloud logic to optimize use of defense systems in space. Yeah. Radiation monitoring experiment, probably for those nuclear bombs that exploded in the atmosphere, which are fact, not a conspiracy.
So he sounds more
He
like
also
a
was involved
retrieval
in
guy.
He did do that on his first mission. Yes. He was involved in STS-39 and landed the flight. Let's see. Where's he
This
at?
man was really active.
He was. Deployed many payloads on STS-54. You know what I feel like we need to do, Darkwolf?
What's that,
We're gonna
Bubba?
search. We got to search all these STS missions.
We could make a whole show out of STS missions. There's so many of them.
We got 66, 54, 54, 39, 39. We've got 39, 54,
39, 54.
and
What was that one?
66. Now listen, 66. Now, my brother and me used to ride skateboards and play crazy music and spray paint stuff when we were teenagers. And whenever my brother spray painted something, I promise you, they're still all over town now, and it's been a long time. He used to spray paint the number 54.
Really?
I promise. I think we should search for STS-54.
All right. Well, let's search it up and see what we find.
My brother's number. Know what we're going to type in.
In the meantime, for those who don't know, we do have a Google Hangouts that Disintegral has been posting to come on over and hang out with us in the Google Hangouts, the Dark Wolf's Den, and maybe even a couple others over there while you're there. Also, we've got, for those who want to see the live stream again on the replay, or those who...
You cut out for a second, buddy. I hope we don't drop. Just, I think, though, that you can only have up to 10 people in a single hangout. We may need to make another one if we fill it up. That's okay. We've got
the Rockinati show.
There he is. You're back. You cut out for a minute, buddy. It's okay, though.
All right. Am I coming in clear?
You are now. You are now. We heard Rockinati's show, and we heard the Hangouts. Just the middle was a little messed up.
All right. Well, I was just saying that if you missed the show and you want to go back and look, we are at Dark Wolf's Den on YouTube. We do the Mandela Effect Theory series along with the replay of every night's Rockinati show. So go on over there, give us a like, give us a subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog, let everybody know.
Dogs love this show. They don't bark until it's over. It's a good way to keep your dog entertained. Okay. Yeah. So the space shuttle in this mission was Endeavour. It was in '93. They orbited at 165 nautical miles, which is right above low Earth orbit. Let's see what they did. So what they did was their payload was the 5th tracking and data relay satellite. That was their payload. It was later sexually transferred. Sexually transferred? What am I talking about? Successfully transferred.
You're starting to crack up real bad. I don't have your screen anymore.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and close this one out. Can you hear me, Dark Wolf? We're having connectivity issues. I'm going to bring our bandwidth down to low.
All right, I can hear you, but you are crackling up. I can see you again.
It's okay. We're going to clear this out. We're going to close up some stuff so that we come through with less. Oh, you can see my little post-it notes on my wall.
We're crackling out really bad now.
If you guys can hear me, I'm going to type down there. I want to let you guys know we thank you for coming. It's usually right around 5:30 a.m. we get a bad signal. I don't know why. Let me try one other thing because I want to be able to say goodbye. If they tell me if I'm still cracking there, Dark Wolf, I cut the video.
You are definitely still cracking here, Bubba.
Okay, we are cracking up. We will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Here.
Okay, so they said my sound is good. Ladies and gentlemen, always, always, always be nice. Be nice in the comments. Be nice to your friends. Be nice to your family. Be nice in everything you do. But never, ever, ever be afraid to speak your mind. That is Uni's line. Because he cannot say it, I will go ahead and say it for him. We really appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate everyone that's watching on the replay. We're really glad y'all chose to watch us. It really means a lot. Y'all are the reason we do this show. So we hope to see y'all again next time. We love everybody. Hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful evening. From Unirock, from Dark Wolf, from the Rockinati. Rock out, guys.
I have to hit the button. Just type in a few little things. All right, guys. If you can hear me.
I can hear you correctly.
Tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to type in the chat for another minute before we end out. See you guys.